About Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriati, NPN number 2083768.
Do you think that banking is boring? At PNC, we know that meeting the banking needs of the community is anything but boring. That's why PNC Bank geared up this year and introduced the mobile branch across the region to bring banking services to underserved neighborhoods. And long before that, PNC Community Development Banking was leading the way in investing in the economic health of our neighborhoods. To see the brilliant results that boring banking can deliver for you, stop into any PNC branch right here in the greater Philadelphia community. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank National Association, member FDIC.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. The White House wins one legal battle and loses two others, all over failure to show irreparable harm. Workers are preparing to take President Trump's name off the Kennedy Center in Washington. Today's the court-ordered deadline to do so. A federal judge has denied a last-minute appeal to stop it, and another judge rejected a request to cancel the White House's UFC fight. ABC's Peter Harlambous on Trump's reaction to the Kennedy Center case.
To put it lightly, he's very angry about this. He's repeatedly spoken about it, put out multiple Truth Social posts. He's attacked the judge who made the decision. He's called out the judge's wife even, and he's threatened to pull back the entire renovation efforts.
The administration's appeal claim removal of the Trump name could create confusion and hurt fundraising. Harlambous on the UFC decision.
The judge finding that the two people who filed this lawsuit, it's two Virginia residents, one of them who likes to protest in that area, the other one an Uber driver, could not show that they had legal standing to sue, that they would actually be impacted by this enough to have a legal claim.
The federal judge has blocked President Trump's $1.8 billion fund to benefit those who claim to have been victimized by the Biden administration. The reason, says the judge, is that the acting attorney general has not rescinded in writing under penalty of perjury his order establishing the fund. While there is no deal yet officially announced or signing scheduled between the U.S. and Iran, Iran's foreign minister says an agreement has never been closer. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
A senior administration official says a couple of the things that are key to this deal right now is that Iran's nuclear material will be destroyed and removed, and that their program will be dismantled. They will not receive any money, no unfreezing of assets, until they perform, as this official put it, and it's not clear what that actually means.
ABC's Karen Travers. Wall Street indexes are higher. You're listening to ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
I've been telling you all about the secret war on our cash and the free report you can receive a copy of by contacting Swiss America at 800-289-2646. I'd also like to encourage you to subscribe to their podcast on YouTube. Just search Swiss America Trading. The podcast can provide you a ton of vital information and financial news in the challenging and uncertain times we're in. Subscribe today. Learn more about BRICS, industry leaders, and their market predictions for the future, along with what you might expect to see in terms of precious metal performance in the weeks and months ahead. Message and data rates may apply.
At least 11 people were shot, one killed in a shooting today in Midland, Texas. ABC's Alex Stone.
Police in Midland say there was an active shooter situation this morning. It turned into a barricade situation after hours of trying to negotiate with the alleged shooter. That person is dead. It started at around 8 in the morning, and when police arrived on scene in Midland, they say they could hear gunfire. Police SWAT teams then tried to negotiate with the shooter. They say the shooter was contained in an area, but the mayor is confirming victims were shot.
Since lawmakers have gone home for the weekend, a section of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act will expire tonight at a late Friday deadline. It's the section allowing warrantless wiretapping of people outside the U.S. Democrats won't sign on until Trump loyalist Bill Pulte is replaced as acting director of national intelligence. Today marks 10 years since 49 people were killed in the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, Florida. The attack by an ISIS-inspired gunman on the LGBTQ-friendly club happened in the middle of Pride Month. Mike Napolitano, a SWAT officer, survived being shot in the helmet while confronting the gunman in the club.
I don't know how to describe it, but it just knocked me down, completely just rocked, my entire sense of time and everything.
Napolitano says he then thought he better shoot back at the guy. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
Weather sponsored by H&K Group Incorporated.
Thunderstorms hanging around into the evening and then just stray showers, down to 69 overnight. Tomorrow, high 91 with sun. Sunday, high 90, partly cloudy, and maybe some showers in the afternoon. Monday, it'll be great, high 82.
Start your new career with H&K Group Incorporated. H&K Group wants to offer you the opportunity to be part of the industry leader. 80 locations across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Visit hkgroup.com and apply today. H&K is an equal opportunity employer.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Some of these problems are easily correctable. We could see significant improvement. Nothing is ever absolute. Nothing could ever be 100% yada yada. But man, we could have so many different better things if we just had that same mentality of, oh, we're having guests, companies coming over. Let's get it together and make it look like we have our house in order. When we know Philadelphia as a city does not have their house in order.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app. WPHT, WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. Lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
306 Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Casey Bartholomew. I'll be with you until 6 o'clock. That'll be when Rich Zioli comes in. Give me a call, 855-839-1210. It's 855-839-1210. I don't know what number this is. We're on one, probably the most recent, let's call it, Iranian peace deal, where Trump announced yesterday, I believe it was, that there's going to be a peace deal, and everybody got really excited, and now there may not be a peace deal because Iran is lying. I don't know. You know what? I'll believe that we have a deal with Iran when the price of gas goes down. That's when I'll believe it. Although I did hear a conspiracy theory, I think it was yesterday. They were talking about the peace deal, and somebody said they were only pretending to have a peace deal because SpaceX went live on the stock market today. So I don't, and they didn't want to impact SpaceX. I don't know. I don't know anything about stocks. I don't have any idea. I don't buy stocks. I buy magic beans, and that's how I deal with my finances, and that's what I'm going to retire on. But President Trump today has accused Iran of misrepresenting the terms of a deal that he had earlier touted and cited as the reason for canceling planned strikes on the Middle Eastern country. According to Trump, he posted this on Truth Social, says the terms that Iran leaked out to the fake news have nothing to do with the terms that were agreed to in writing. What they said, including their weak and pathetic statement on having a deal, bears no relation to the truth. Very dishonorable people to deal with. With them, there is no such thing as dealing in good faith. Amazing, and amazing was in all caps. There you go. So it sounded like we had a deal, and then we didn't have a deal, but I'll be honest, I don't understand how this war is going. We had a ceasefire, and during this ceasefire, we were firing, and they were firing. So we're really bad at ceasefires. We're really bad, and Iran is really bad at ceasefires. So, and now we have a deal, but Iran sucks, something like that, I guess. So I don't even know what's going on here. Now, the dispute suggests the two sides could still be at odds, gee, do you think, over the most significant and complicated component of the agreement, the nuclear question, despite Trump saying a deal is near. Trump has said Iran has committed not to possess a nuclear weapon, though the terms worked out over the next 60 days under a memorandum. Is the memorandum of understanding going to be a significant as the ceasefire, where we didn't, is it like memorandum? I don't know. But they're saying that this is going on and between the U.S. and Iran, and that Trump said could be signed this weekend. But the Islamic Republican News Agency, the IRNA, said the memorandum of understanding would not state any new commitments for Iran and are merely references to subsequent negotiations and Iran's firm commitment not to develop nuclear weapons based on the permanent policy of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Well, we can certainly trust Iran, can't we? If they say they're not going to develop nuclear weapons, well, that's good enough. That's good enough for Obama. So I guess that's good. I don't think that's good enough. I'll be honest with you. I'm starting to get tired of the stories. I'm starting to get tired of this idea that we are going to have peace. I'm starting to get tired of this, we're close. I think we should just start dropping bombs until there's nothing left to bomb. That's what I think should be done. They've bombed virtually everybody else in the area. They sponsor terrorism. We know that even if we take their current nuclear material, they're going to try to find a way to build another nuclear weapon. And if Iran builds a nuclear weapon, which they want to, I don't care what they say, you might want to sit down for this. It might be a little much for some people to take. Iran lies. Iran says all kinds of stuff, and it's not true. So if we get to that point that we're believing Iran, then we've got a problem. So I still think they're going, even if they sign the memorandum of understanding, is that an official document? I personally have never signed a memorandum of understanding, so I don't know. But even if we get the memorandum of understanding, it would seem that they'll probably still try to build a nuclear weapon and then bounce it off to one of their terrorist cells, the Houthis, Hamas, whatever. And then they'll either detonate it in Israel or one of our other allies or near one of our military bases. Either way, the fact that we went into this war and didn't seem to have a plan is bothersome to me. And we got a couple of cuts here I want to play with regard to, I guess, the potential, non-potential, maybe, sorta, probably not, but still could be peace deal. Warms the heart, doesn't it? Makes me feel all fuzzy inside. Let's go ahead and play cut 2.
Day. I know you'll never be satisfied, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me at all. We just made a great settlement of the war with Iran, and we're going to be subject to finalization of documents, which should get done over the next few days. Probably have a signing maybe in Europe, and it's a great thing. Stock market's up 1,000 points. That means they like the deal. See, that means they like. If the market goes down, that means they don't like the deal. But it's been up. Oil's dropped. Oil will start coming down to, I think, even lower than it was before. We had.
All right, so there you go. He's supposing a lot's going to happen there, but and he talks about the vagaries of having a deal, but again, it doesn't seem like we have an actual deal, but maybe have a deal. No, we don't have a deal. We have a memorandum of understanding. Don't know what that is. Iran's news agency also said that contrary to some strange claims in the media, Iran does not make any commitment in this text to hand over management or return the Strait of Hormuz. Instead, the agreement envisions the establishment of a maritime security by coastal countries in the region, basically Iran. I guess Oman is there too, and Oman isn't exactly our bestest of buddies, but either way. Let's go ahead and play cut 3 here.
Took them out at night, and the strait will officially open as soon as we sign, which could be soon, very soon, maybe over the weekend, in Europe. I won't be able to be there, but JD will be there, Vice President, and some of the people. Steve Woodcock did a great job, Jared. So we'll take some questions, but right now we're here to talk.
Yeah, he sounds tired, I think, a little bit. Maybe he's tired of Iran. I really think when all this came out, we decided to go to war because they were, and I don't have, by the way, a problem with going to war with Iran. I don't have any issue with going there. They were developing a nuclear weapon. They may not admit it, but I'm comfortable saying that. They were working towards that. If they had developed a nuclear weapon, like I said before, they would have used it on Israel. They would have used it on one of our military bases. They would have tried to smuggle it into the country. They would have tried to do something. They don't currently have the ballistic capabilities in order to get one to the continental United States. If they did, they would do that. We have to always govern by the overriding philosophy that Iran sucks and Iran wants to murder us all, every single one of us. So I don't have a problem going in. I really do think, though, that when we went in, we were thinking the people there will rise up. The people there will rise up and they'll overthrow the government, and then we won't have anything to worry about. And that apparently didn't work out. I think the reason that didn't work out is because while we were bombing them in some places, the Republican Guard there in Iran was still murdering all of their citizens, and the citizens didn't want to be murdered. There were some small protests that popped up a little bit, but it didn't really go anywhere. Now, Vice President J.D. Vance said today he is seeing a lot of fake information about a deal that President Donald Trump promised would reopen the Strait of Hormuz and in Iran's nuclear program. He said on X, so I guess Trump goes to Truth Social and JD has X. I think Marco uses Snapchat. Anyway, he said, first, the Iranians are not receiving any cash and no funds are being released for simply signing a deal or attending a meeting. The deal is structured to ensure that the U.S. and its allies' concerns are prioritized and that if the Islamic Republic of Iran meets its obligations, then economic benefits will flow to them and to the entire region. This deal has the potential to remake the region and lead to lasting peace. His comments come after the Islamic Republican News Agency said the agreement would not, like I said before, create any new commitments for Iran and are merely references to subsequent negotiations and Iran's firm commitment not to develop nuclear weapons based on the permanent policy of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Of course, like I said earlier, Iran lies, Iran sucks, so we need to be able to go in there and verify things. This is different. Recently, everybody's been touting the Obama peace deal that was negotiated under his term, the Obama-Iran deal, which gave Iran billions upon billions of dollars to fund terrorism, and also allowed for them to continue to put together the information, the requirements necessary to get a nuclear bomb, and it didn't require any oversight at all. We could go in and check, but we had to give them notice before we came in and check, enough notice so that they could hide all the nuclear material that they had been refining. So all of that stuff, everybody's trying to say, well, it's just the Obama. It's not the Obama deal. This is not the Obama deal. They're trying to claim Trump is just using the Obama deal because, again, Barack Obama was the patron saint of all things good and holy in the world, and everything he did was absolutely right. So they're trying to claim that, and it's really not the case. In fact, not even really not the case. It is absolutely not the case. This would not free up. I mean, again, I don't really know everything that's in the deal, but based on what the Americans are saying, this doesn't free up any money. It has the potential to free up money, has the potential to lift some sanctions and open up some trade routes, has all that potential, but Iran has to do its due diligence of not wanting to murder us all. And Iran has a nasty habit of wanting to murder us all, so that's going to be problematic. Now, if the United States and Iran agree to a memo ending the war, negotiations will focus on continuing Tehran's nuclear program and compensating the country for damage from the war that began on February 28th. Again, this is according to Iran's state news agency. They want billions of dollars in reparations for the war, to fix all the damage from the war, and they are expecting to continue their nuclear program. I don't think we're going to give them billions of dollars. I don't think we're going to allow them to continue their nuclear program. Again, this is the stuff that frustrates me. Everything with the Strait of Hormuz, all of it. This is the stuff that's frustrated me since this entire nonsense began. Carpet bomb. I've said this on the air before. Carpet bomb. Wipe them out. Destroy them. I don't have any issue with who dies in Iran. They would if you were standing in the middle of Iran right now, they would murder you. They would probably do it in the public square. They are not nice humans. So we need to just wipe them out. And I don't particularly care whether they think they're going to get money or not. But Trump has insisted Iran end its nuclear weapons program and surrender its enriched uranium. But Tehran says that peace talks that would start within 60 days of finalizing a memorandum of understanding would cover the continuation of Iran's peaceful nuclear program. This is according to the Islamic Republic Agency, blah, blah, blah. But they wanted their continuation of their peaceful nuclear program. But we got to check the definition of peaceful. In the eyes of the Iranians, they are peacefully going to murder all of us. They are peacefully going to try to build a nuclear weapon. They are peacefully going to fund terrorist groups and possibly funnel said nuclear weapon to the terrorist groups. And then they are peacefully going to try to murder us all. That's their definition of peaceful, and that's problematic. Now, the talks will also cover lifting of all unilateral and illegal U.S. sanctions. This is what they're saying, right? We're not saying, okay, we're going to lift our illegal sanction. We're not saying that. But they're saying the talks will cover lifting of all unilateral and illegal U.S. sanctions and a mechanism for compensating Iran for the damages caused to it during the imposed war. I guess that's true. I mean, I guess it was an imposed war. We bombed them. They didn't bomb themselves. But still, they're saying a lot of different things. And this is causing Trump to say that they're not peaceful people. And it seems as though I've seen this movie before. I will believe that we have a peace deal with Iran when we have a peace deal with Iran. I'll believe we have it when all the paperwork is signed. I'll especially believe we have it when we have all their enriched uranium. When they stop using their nuclear program to try to build a weapon, because that's what they were using their nuclear program before. So it's sort of like, yeah, okay, let me know when it's signed. Let me know when you get everything on paper. If you get everything on paper, then we'll listen. If not, I think we should bomb them back to the Stone Age. It's not that far to get them bombed back to the Stone Age. They were a relatively modern country in the 70s. Now, the Shah wasn't great, all right? The Shah wasn't a good guy. He murdered people and everything like that. And so they're still mad about that. But at us, too. But they're not, they were a fairly modern country. Now they're a fairly not modern country. And so it wouldn't take a whole lot to bomb them back to the Stone Age. But I think we should at least lean that direction. Now, according to this is the Islamic Republican News Agency, they said today, the passing references made in the text of the memorandum to Iran's nuclear program do not create any new commitments for Iran and are merely references to subsequent negotiations and Iran's firm commitment to not develop nuclear weapons based on their permanent policy. But they can change their permanent policy whenever they want to. It's their policy. It can fluctuate as much as they want to. Trump has insisted that they not develop any nuclear weapons and surrender their stockpile, but peace talks have dragged for weeks under a ceasefire that began in April, which we screwed up at. And they screwed up at. I don't know if maybe I'm being arrogant here, and I'm trying not to. I don't know what your personal understanding of ceasefire is. I went to school in a different state, and maybe they taught things differently. But my understanding of a ceasefire is that we would, cease firing. And apparently the Iranian definition and the American definition as a whole is that we'll have a ceasefire, but we'll go ahead and keep on firing. Now, throughout his months-long negotiations with Iran, Trump has claimed Iran is close to signing off on a deal with the U.S. that would include Iran agreeing not to possess the nuclear weapons, only for a deal not to follow. And that's why it's like the boy who cried wolf. We keep hearing this and hearing this and hearing this. This is, I think, and I'm racking my brain here. It doesn't take long, but I'm racking my brain. I don't know if Iran has ever said that a deal was close. They're saying that a deal is close. In fact, their foreign minister says a deal has never been closer than this. So maybe we'll get something signed this weekend. And if we get something signed this weekend, maybe we'll have a peace deal. Who knows? Trump told reporters that this time is different, arguing Iran has succumbed to U.S. military strength, including a new wave of U.S. attacks on Iran this week after Trump accused Iranian leaders of moving too slowly on negotiations. Trump was said when he was asked why Iran will agree to a deal now after refusing to earlier, says because they've taken a pounding. They've taken a pounding like few people could take, and they want to make a deal a lot more than I do. He also added that it could have had it done the other way, I guess, but it would have taken longer, meaning the pounding. Trump threatened to hit Iran with bigger and more powerful attacks on yesterday, but said he canceled those orders after making progress in negotiations with Iran. But so, okay, maybe we're there. We've got a deal with Iran. Maybe we're there. Maybe we're approaching it. Again, I'm cynical because we haven't seen anything yet. I would love to have a peace deal with Iran. I was in California a little over a month ago. I was in California and I had to rent a car and I had to fill said car up with gas, and it cost me $6, little over like $6.08 a gallon. And I just sat there filling up my car going, geez. I mean, I've never paid that much for gas before in my life. My family lives in California, my dad. And so I routinely go there. And when I go there, it was never unusual to pay, even in the best of times, a little over $5 a gallon. But I've never paid, except for that one time, more than $6 a gallon. And that was painful to do. It was especially painful because I had to do it for a rental car. And I hate leaving gas for rental car people, as much as I'm sure they hate leaving gas for me. So I had to pay that. So I would love it if we got a gas deal. I even remember, because my wife and I joke about it, the weekend before we bombed Iran, I think we paid $2.08 a gallon for gas. I mean, it was really cheap, and we were really happy. And then all hell broke loose. And then we were told, this is only going to take a couple weeks. This whole war is only going to take a couple of weeks. We'll knock them out. We'll take out their Air Force. We'll take out their Navy. We'll take out their radar. All things that we claim to have done. Who knows? But we claim to have done. And then the war will be over and the gas prices will go back down. And they didn't. Now, that being said, again, I am a proponent of the war. I think nuclear bombs are bad. And I think Iran would have used their nuclear bomb on us. And I think in the long run, I hope in the long run, but I think in the long run, people are going to come to the realization that Iran not being nuclear armed, not having a nuclear weapon to use, certainly not having a nuclear weapon that they would pass off to the Houthis or Hamas or one of their terrorist cells, certainly that is worth spending a little bit more for gas over the short term. Now, I say that, and everybody's going to tell me I'm an idiot, and I'm not going to deny this allegation, but everybody's going to suggest that I'm an idiot for that. But the reality is that if they have the nuclear bomb, again, they'll use it. If they have the nuclear bomb, they'll use it. And if they use the nuclear bomb, then that creates a whole, because who do they use it against? Are they going to go after the Israelis? Are they going to go after our military bases? And those are the problems. So I guess all I can say is that I'll believe it when I see it. I would like it if it happens. I would love to have a peace deal. I would love to get back to paying $2.08 a gallon for gas. I would love that. But the reality is it's like I said, we've seen this movie before. I kind of know how it ends. I hope I'm wrong. I am often wrong, so there is every possibility that I could be wrong this time as well. But until we have a deal, and until the nuclear material, the enriched uranium, is in our possession to either take or destroy, whatever the case may be, then I'll believe it when I see it. And again, I do think that Trump thought, and his generals thought, that this was going to be kind of like when we went into Venezuela. It took about 15 minutes and we were done. And this has dragged on for, I think we're on 107 days, and that is problematic on so many different levels. All right, 855-839-1210 is the number here. That's 855-839-1210. When we come back, would you let your kid watch, read, listen to anything Ms. Rachel has to say? She's a known anti-Semite. She's liked anti-Semitic posts online. She is now protesting in favor of criminals at Delaney Hall in Newark, and we've got some audio for that, and we're going to get your reaction to that as well. My name is Casey Bartholomew. It is 3:30. You're listening to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Experience matters, especially when you're making an investment in your next vehicle. At Lexus of Cherry Hill, they've built their reputation the right way. Veteran and family owned and operated, and recognized as an 8-time J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience. From the refined Lexus RX to the powerful and capable GX, you'll find performance, luxury, and reliability in every model. Visit Lexus of Cherry Hill in Mount Laurel or LexusofCherryHill.com. Lexus of Cherry Hill, doing business the right way. For J.D. Power of Excellence information, visit jdpower.com/US-DOE.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to BillsHappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
BillsHappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
Have you ever felt like you were living just a B or B plus life? It's so dangerous to live that, more dangerous than a B minus or a C plus life, because when you're living a B or B plus life, you don't change it. You think it's good enough. Is it? I'm Susie Welch. I host a podcast called Becoming You. People think, okay, an A plus life is not available to me, but there is a way. We are all in the process of becoming ourselves. Listen to Becoming You wherever you get your podcasts.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by LensSeek.
NVIDIA is taking aim at the PC market with a new AI chip designed for Windows-based PCs. The NVIDIA RTX Spark chip is touted as being able to perform 1,000 trillion calculations per second. NVIDIA says the chip is designed for AI, content creation, and gaming for Windows laptops and desktop PCs. Rival chip makers, along with Apple, felt stock pressure from NVIDIA's new PC chip. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
.335 Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Casey Bartholomew. I'll be with you until 6 o'clock. Stick around after 6. That'll be when Rich Dioli comes on. 855-839-1210 is our number. That's 855-839-1210. You should hate Miss Rachel, and I'll tell you why. For those of you who don't know, Miss Rachel is a annoyingly upbeat children's performer that you can see on YouTube. I don't think she has a TV show, an actual TV show. I think she's just on YouTube, which is fine. And you can buy products in the stores and that sort of thing. And she has decided that because she sings songs about potty training, that qualifies her to criticize, to be first anti-Semitic, because she's an anti-Semite, and B, criticize federal agents for trying to keep rapists and murderers out of the country. She doesn't like that. She wants all the rapists and murderers released into the country so that they can be with their families. I guess that's the overriding thing. The popular children's educator, is she an educator? She's an entertainer. Miss Rachel visited Delaney Hall, the immigration and detention facility in Newark, New Jersey, this week to visit families she said had been terrorized by immigration enforcement. I like that. It's always the fault of ICE. It's always the fault of the people enforcing the law. It's never the fault of the parents who broke the law. It's never the fault of the families who put their children in this position. It's never them. It's always the evil people who are enforcing the laws. They are, written down. We're not just making this stuff up as we go. These laws are written down. You can see. Maybe Miss Rachel should teach the rapists and murderers how to read. or the children of the rapists and murderers, so that they can understand that it's mom and dad who suck. It's mom and dad who brought you to this country illegally and are forcing you to go through this. Can we do a catchy song of that? It was mom and dad who screwed you over. The YouTuber, whose real name is Rachel Griffin Accurso, shared a video of herself speaking with the daughter of a detained man in the facility who emotionally recounted her visit with him. Accurso, did we talk about any of the people who were... Did they talk to Lake and Riley's family? Any of the people who were murdered by illegal... Or are we just going, no? Okay. I'm just trying to figure out the message Miss Rachel is trying to say, which is that murder's okay. Accurso wrote that the man had lived in the United States illegally for 20 years and worked as a truck driver illegally. She encouraged followers to donate to the criminal family as well. Now, we have a clip of Miss Rachel out there. I think she's singing or doing annoying Miss Rachel things. Go ahead and let's play cut number 19.
I'll sing from here and you sing from there. Together we'll sing down the walls everywhere. With love in our hearts rising up like the sea. Together we'll sing until everyone's free. I love you guys.
Oh my God! I love you guys. You're just the bestest. We'll sing until all the rapists and murderers are free. Golly, Miss Rachel. Yeah, I wouldn't, if my kids were of that age, my kids are no longer of the Miss Rachel wheelhouse age. If my kids were of that age, I would take every Miss Rachel thing I had, put it in a bin, and set it afire, because I wouldn't want my children being entertained by somebody who hates Jewish people and encourages rapists and murderers to be free with their family. Oh my God, I love you guys. Seriously. She made all her money in this country, by the way. She goes on to say, please let their kind, loving father be with his family again. Kind and loving. How does she know? Where was she? Let me just because Miss Rachel shows up, propaganda nonsense, idiot. She said, how is ripping this family apart and taking him from his children, one with severe special needs, okay? I spoke with many traumatized kids who are scared to sleep at night. Why are we terrorizing children? Ask the parents. The parents are the ones who screwed over. Anytime you see an illegal alien child weeping softly to themselves, the narrative is that we blame ICE, we blame federal agents for, upholding the law. That's what we do. But instead, we never say, hey, why did you illegally bring your children over here? Why did you illegally have an existence here? Why didn't you make any effort to become a citizen? Why did you screw over this country? Why did you do that? Why are your children crying because Mumsy and Papa broke the law and had to be rounded up? Miss Rachel. Is Miss Rachel suggesting? Is the well-known educator of young children near and far suggesting that children shouldn't obey the rules? Dummy? Is that what you're doing? Does Miss Rachel have a song saying, hey, the laws don't apply to you? Is that what we're dealing with here? Because I would like to know. Again, she's already a known anti-Semite. She's already knowingly going out and speaking in favor of rapists and murderers. So I don't understand what the real issue is here with her. Instead of the lies she's spreading about how we're ripping the families apart, when in fact it's the parents that are ripping the families apart. She also posted a video of herself singing alongside the families and immigration activists. That was the nonsense that we just played. We'll sing until everybody's free to rape and murder and do all the things they do. I love you guys. Oh my gosh. Accurso tagged the New Jersey Alliance for Immigrant Justice in her post. Okay. Gee, I wonder if they agree with her. Department of Homeland Security spokeshuman strongly pushed back against those claims, saying they were made by a dumb woman. But they also said critics of immigration enforcement have ignored children exploited by smugglers and sex traffickers who cross the border under the Biden administration. Is Miss Rachel in favor of sex trafficking? Does she have a song in favor of sex trafficking? Does she have a song in favor of murder and rape? Let's look on our YouTube channel, see if we can find that. I think it's called It's Fun to Rape. I think that's the name of the song. Let's see if we can get that. The spokesperson also disputed claims of family separation, saying ICE does not separate families. Well, parents are asked if they want to be removed with their children, or ICE will place the children with a safe person the parent designates. Oh gosh. So Miss Rachel is also lying like a liar. So let's talk about the values of Miss Rachel. She's in favor of breaking the law. She's in favor of disobeying the rules. She's in favor of coddling murderers and sex traffickers. And she's a liar when she says that ICE separates families. In fact, the families themselves that separate themselves. So, why does anybody listen to Miss Rachel? Good God, the woman needs to be stopped. Needs to be incarcerated or something. She can sing to the kids in the prison on conjugal visit day when the parents are off doing other things. Now, the spokesperson for ICE also said that DHS has led the efforts to rescue and stop the exploitation of 450,000 unaccompanied children that the Biden administration lost or placed with unvetted sponsors, and is laser focused on protecting children and will continue to work with federal, state, and local law enforcement to reunite children with their families. But Miss Rachel is against that. She's in favor of rapists and murderers, and she's a liar. And again, she tells you to go ahead and disobey the law. That's some fine educating there, Miss Rachel. On Wednesday, that's Miss Rachel, also shared that she was in Washington, D.C. to buy crack. To urge members of Congress to end family detention and separation and unite in not wanting to be people who harm, abuse, traumatize, and terrify children. You know what's sad? Is that Miss Rachel will get to talk to somebody. Miss Rachel will actually get in there and be allowed to talk to members of Congress about these very things, just because she's Miss Rachel, and that's the only reason. Accurso said she delivered letters from children whose parents were in detention centers to both Republicans and Democrats. Why were the parents in detention centers? Did she say that? Were these the rapists or the murderers? I'm just curious, Miss Rachel looks. She said, this is not a partisan issue. Kind of is. We will all look back on this time and remember, if we stood with the children of the rapists and murderers being abused in detention centers, they're being abused? I would like to see evidence of that, Miss Rachel. Oh, wait, Miss Rachel's a liar. I forgot. And corporations making millions and harming them for our tax dollars. It's not the first time Miss Rachel has visited children with parents in detention centers. She went to Texas as well. In an interview with NBC News at the time, she embraced the label of being political because that's what you want. You want your children's entertained. What do the Wiggles have to say? Have the Wiggles said anything about illegal immigration? Because if the Wiggles, I'm going along with whatever the Wiggles say, because I like the Wiggles. Now, the visit is the latest example of the YouTube freak's political activism. She's spoken out about her support for Gaza children and has been a fierce critic of the Israel-Hamas war because she hates Jewish people. She garnered criticism for citing the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry's casualty statistics in her social media posts. Of course that's what she's going to cite, because they'll go along with her anti-Semitic views. In January, she was forced to apologize because she liked an anti-Semitic comment from one of her followers and had to post a video afterwards saying it was an accident. Oops! I'm accidentally an anti-Semite. I accidentally hate Jewish people. My bad. Let's sing a song about everybody can play together except the Jewish people just cause. And then she went off and sang a song. So I would not do anything. What they should do, we should collect Miss Rachel toys and just throw them in the river. Just toss them in there. Let them soak. Miss Rachel will be happy because she'll get the money that she can funnel toward whatever October 7th style attacks that she wants the people in Gaza to do again, or possibly to support the fund that supports rapists and murderers, which what she actively does right now. But either way, I wouldn't let my kid watch Miss Rachel. I would block Miss Rachel's channel because Miss Rachel actively teaches disobeying the law, disobeying the rules, actively teaches to be kinder to rapists and murderers, and is openly anti-Semitic. So I don't know. I wouldn't have anything to do with this woman. I don't know why she's as popular as she is, but there's a lot of dumb people out there. 855-839-1210 is the number here. When we come back, the latest on UFOs and what we're supposed to do if we receive any contact from the aliens. We'll talk about all that coming up. My name is Casey Bartholomew. It's 3:47. You're listening to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
So Ryan and I came to the decision to get life insurance when I was pregnant with our first son. He really wanted us to be taken care of if something happened to him. He provided for our family in life and also after his death. I think that would make him proud. Ethos makes it fast and easy to get life insurance. Apply in minutes and get same-day coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
You don't need another opinion, just the facts.
What caused that crash on the Schuylkill? Will it rain before the kids' game? What happened at the school board meeting last night?
At KYW News Radio, we don't take sides. We take notes, delivering the information you need to make the best decisions for your family.
The news you need whenever you need it.
Depend on KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news leader for more than 60 years.
Hi, welcome to Bucks County Estate Traders.
Hi, we need to fill a big space on our wall.
Something that says, wow. Oh, of course. Our showroom is full of all styles of artwork and decor pieces. And some of our items have even been featured on the big screen and in TV shows. Oh, that's awesome. Pretty cool, right? So when you're looking for a stunning piece of art, Bucks County Estate Traders has the selection and variety.
And I see your inventory is online.
Oh, it sure is, along with the size and price, so you can measure the space and browse at your leisure. It's all at BucksCountyEstateTraders.com.
TurnersvilleJeep.com wants to save you money at the pump this June with a brand new Jeep Cherokee Hybrid. Not worried about gas prices? Then check out our huge inventory of Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, or Ram trucks, and Dodge Durango.
Equipped with V8 engines.
Don't have a down payment? No problem. We work with dozens of banks who offer 0 down payments and no payments for 90 days to qualified buyers. Just minutes from all bridges or online 24/7 at TurnersvilleJeep.com. Again, that's TurnersvilleJeep.com.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
.352 Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Casey Bartholomew. I'm with you until 6. Stick around after 6. Rich Zioli will be here. Give me a call, 855-839-1210. That's 855-839-1210. U.S. officials have found a location in the Northeast. That narrows it down. Where unexplained glowing orbs frequently appear in the night sky, bringing experts closer to solving a long-standing UFO mystery. I've seen the video. I think they're drones. Looks like drones to me. Wouldn't it be funny if not really funny, if the aliens could get down here and all they really had was drone technology? Maybe they're blown away by our jet engines and stuff. Maybe they can't fathom that. Maybe they have no weapons. That's what I'm going to say. I should probably not say that. They're probably monitoring this transmission right now. Anyway, the site's existence was revealed by a local resident and confirmed by FBI agents. It's all being disclosed today as part of a third bunch of UFO files released pursuant to President Trump's February declassification order. And also, I'm just throwing this out there. Comes out the same day that Disclosure Day comes out today. The Steven Spielberg alien movie. There are no coincidences in life, you know. The site's existence that was revealed because of Trump's order, the location is not identified in documents, but is described as being on a secluded pond. Okay. Any of those geocachers out there? Anything like that? We need something in the northeast of the United States that's near a pond. Go. Because I want to see it. I always want to see this stuff. I want to believe in UFOs. I've never seen one. I want to believe in Bigfoot. I've never seen a Bigfoot. Although whenever I say that on the air, people always email me and offer to take me out in the middle of the woods to try to find Bigfoot. I know how grating and annoying I am on the air. I also know that if somebody took me out into the middle of the woods, they would leave me there and I would die. And they would laugh and laugh and laugh. So I'm not going. I'm going to have to wait until they capture a Bigfoot and it's in a zoo somewhere doing Bigfoot things in a cage. That's the only way I'll ever see a big. But I'm also at one time in my life, I was literally a Ghostbuster. I was part of a group in New Jersey that looked around for ghosts, and I never saw one, but I want there to be one. So I want there to be UFOs, but I looked at the video and they look like drones. I don't know if people get really excited. I've never seen a drone show. They do some pretty amazing. They can make like a human face, just like almost an exact human face out of drones in the sky. So I'm not really blown away when I see a drone over a pond in the northeast United States. Everybody go, find it. Send me pictures. And they just zap back and forth, and they describe it in awe. It was going forward, and then it stopped, and then it went backwards, and then it stopped again. It's like, okay. You could go to Best Buy and find something that does that exact thing and only spend like $40 on it. Now, the sightings began in the year of our Lord 2021 and have continued at irregular intervals because the kids are taking the drones out whenever mom says it's okay. But the information released today is significant because the resident who reported the sightings to the FBI in October 2024 is considered credible. He's in the Northeast, not the Southeast. So his name is not Jethro, although it doesn't say about any sexual relation with his sister. He's considered credible and recorded footage on his cell phone of the orbs, including them appearing to replicate. So they break off and they turn the lights on. And no, nobody's seen a drone do that. That's pretty much all they do. Now, after receiving the video files, which were inspected to ensure that they were not part of a hoax, FBI agents undertook a site visit and saw the orbs for themselves. Or drones, whatever you want to call them. The earliest video from 2021 shows a single bright but distant orb, drone, appearing to replicate into at least three orbs over the course of about 2 minutes. There was a similar video in 2022, another one in 2024. They said the video was grainy and wasn't all that good because apparently when they went to go investigate the UFOs, they didn't know they were going to be investigating UFOs. So they didn't know they should bring their high-quality video equipment. So that's been released today. Same day as Disclosure Day opens. How about that? All right. When we come back, we are going to talk to you about how reparations may be getting closer than we think. I'm Casey Bartholomew, 357. You're listening to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. Police say they know who the shooter was this morning in Midland, Texas. They say after hours of trying to negotiate with the barricaded shooter, that person is dead with 9 others taken to the hospital. Midland Mayor Lori Blogg.
Our thoughts and prayers are absolutely with the victims and with their families, with our first responders, with all of the medical staff that are responding this morning.
Police say the shooter was being sought for the alleged attempted murder of an officer earlier this week. Iran's foreign minister says an agreement with the U.S. has never been closer. ABC's Karen Travers.
There are reports out there saying that Iran is getting money up front to sign this memo of understanding, but they said no, that is not the case. Quote, what they get is they get rewarded economically for complying with their obligations under the deal. Now, the big difference here is Iran, their state media has said that they're going to see the unfreezing of assets from the signing of this.
Workers are preparing to take President Trump's name off of the Kennedy Center in Washington. Today's the court-ordered deadline to do so, and a federal judge has denied a last-minute appeal to stop it. ABC's Peter Harlambus.
The judge finding that the Trump administration failed to show how they would be irreparably harmed by complying with this decision. The judge also calling out the Trump administration in part, basically saying that, you've had 14 days to appeal this ruling. You're waiting to the final day.
Another judge rejected a request to cancel the White House's UFC fight. The Pentagon has released a new batch of reports on UFOs. Says ABC's Louis Martinez.
The previous 2 batches that we've seen of videos have come from the military, maybe 1 or 2 civilian. But in this case, what we're seeing is more civilian cases. And they deemed that the person, the eyewitness, as they call them, to be credible. Nothing that we've seen in the files that are being released right now indicates that these objects are of extraterrestrial origin.
Wall Street index is closing higher. You're listening to ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
I've been telling you all about the Secret War on our cash and the free report you can receive a copy of by contacting Swiss America at 800-289-2646. I'd also like to encourage you to subscribe to their podcast on YouTube. Just search Swiss America Trading. The podcast can provide you a ton of vital information and financial news in the challenging and uncertain times we're in. Subscribe today. Learn more about BRICS, industry leaders, and their market predictions for the future, along with what you might expect to see in terms of precious metal performance in the weeks and months ahead. Message and data rates may apply.
A federal judge has blocked President Trump's $1.8 billion fund to benefit those claiming damages by the Biden administration. The judge says the acting attorney general has not rescinded in writing under penalty of perjury his order establishing the fund. Part of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act will expire tonight. It's part that allows warrantless wiretapping outside the U.S. Democrats demand that Bill Pulte, a Trump loyalist, be replaced as acting director of national intelligence. It will have been nearly 5 years since the deadly 2022 Uvalde, Texas school shooting, when former school police chief Pete Arredondo stands trial for allegedly endangering students that day. During a brief court appearance today, a judge set a tentative trial date of February 22nd, 2027. Ebola cases in the Democratic Republic of Congo have surpassed 600. As the outbreak continues to spread, there are 635 confirmed cases, 127 deaths, says Congo's Minister of Health. Some Ebola deaths in Uganda, too. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel.
There are some studies suggesting that we're only seeing the reports from about 20 to 60% of cases where there needs to be contact tracing. So the worry is, due to displacement and due to a lack of supplies and mistrust, that not all the cases and exposures are being counted right now, and the illness count could get much higher.
Elon Musk became the world's first trillionaire after shares of his rocket company SpaceX soared today. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
You've got bikes, you've got scooters, you've got delivery drivers, now we have robots. What does it say about a city? And I get it, this is the direction of technology. All of the extra technology that's moving as you're trying to move in an already congested city, I think there's going to be a lot of pushback and resistance to the robots here in Philadelphia. Short of the bougie crowd that's going to love it in and around Market and Chestnut.
Send me my Chipotle.
Yes.
Oh, this robot from Uber. Like, are we that lazy?
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Hey, shh. Listen. Do you hear that? It's your heart. Chances are you take that precious sound for granted. And if you're like a lot of Americans, 1/3 to be exact, you're not doing anything to prevent heart disease. So what if a cardiologist told you exactly how best to love your heart?
AT&T.
Would you listen then? Go to clevelandclinic.org/loveyourheart and learn what really matters and what doesn't when it comes to that lovable heart of yours.
WPHT, WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. Lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
.406 Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Casey Bartholomew. I'll be with you until 6 o'clock. Stick around after 6, and that will be when Rich the Oldie comes on. Give us a call, 855-839-1210. That's 855-839-1210. I didn't realize that there was so much push going on for reparations. I have never been a fan of reparations. I don't think we should give large sums of money to people that absolutely nothing happened to. If you could show me someone who was a slave, because reparations are for slavery, if you can show me someone today, they would probably be in the neighborhood of 150 years old. But if you could show me someone today who was a slave in this country that deserves reparations, then I'll sign off, because it is me who signs off. It's one of the perks of being a radio talk show host. Then I'll sign off on reparations. But there is nobody today who was a slave. I would venture to guess that there is nobody today who ever met anyone who was a slave. I would be shocked if there are. They're very old, they're drooling on themselves, and they have to be reminded who their family is when they come in. But either way, that person would be so old if they ever even met a slave. And since there are no slaves to give money to, nobody gets money. Just because something bad happened to somebody else. And since there's equally nobody alive today who owned a slave, I don't know where this money comes from. Taxpayers. Oh, that's right. I shouldn't have to pay anything, even if they agree to this. And they should never agree to this, because this is a word that I learned in law school. It's stupid. I didn't go to law school. I went to broadcaster school, which is a waste of time. But either way, it's stupid to give large sums of money to people that literally nothing happened to. And I cannot wrap my mind around it. And I refuse to even try. But that's what people are wanting. And they're a step closer to becoming reality. And I'm here to tell you, as long as Democrats play identity politics, as long as they keep pandering to people based on their identity, then we're always going to have the conversation about reparations, because there's never going to be anybody who's bold enough, smart enough, and it doesn't take that much intelligence. Average kindergartner knows this. But there's not going to be anybody who's brave enough to say, why are we going to give money to people that nothing happened to? Reparations are stupid. You have the same opportunities that everybody else does. Go get a freaking job. That should be the official designation. I'll sign off on that. Because again, talk show host, I get to do that. But there's a number of situations that have popped up. In fact, just this week, I only just heard about this. Representative Al Green out of the Houston area of Texas. He's the one who doesn't get enough attention. So he stands up and waves his cane at Donald Trump during the State of the Union and gets kicked out. And that is literally the only thing he does all year long. He's also going to be out of Congress soon. So he's screaming because he lost the array. He's gonna get kicked out. So he screams about things, and he was probably screaming about this. But there was apparently a rally at Capitol Hill just yesterday. I didn't even know it happened. Just yesterday for reparations. So let's hear what dumbass Al Green has to say about this. It's cut 6.
It's not enough. We have to have reparations. Yeah. And I have a piece of legislation that calls for a Department of Reconciliation. But there can be no reconciliation without reparative justice. Right. And there can be no reparation without reparative justice. And to have reparative justice, you've got to have the thing that we call what? Truth? No, the money. You got to have the money. Yes. Reparative compensation. You got to have reparations. You got to have money. Look, if money can solve the problems for everybody else, it can solve some of our problems. Right. And anybody who doesn't want the reparations, it's okay with me. I will take your portion. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Jeez. The people behind, he is so stupid that the people behind him don't even know what he's saying. We got to have, what? We don't know. Well, money. Oh, yeah, we want money. Yeah, free money. Nothing happened to me. I get free money. Yeah, that's what it is. And that's the way they do it. That's the mindset of the reparations crowd. But that was on Capitol Hill yesterday. Now, there was video along with that. And there aren't a whole bunch of people there. I don't know if the mindset has flipped yet to where people are actually going, oh, yeah, we don't deserve reparations. Nothing happened to us. Nothing bad happened to us, so we don't get reparations. I don't know. And by the way, I blame nobody who would take the money. If they came up to me and they said, look, we have some nerd reparations. Geeky guys who didn't kiss a girl until they were well into their 30s. Never had a date. We're going to give you some money because the attractive people out there spoke out against you. We're going to give it to you. I would say that's stupid, and I would take the check. I would do it. So I don't fault anybody for taking the reparations. It's the demand for reparations that I have an issue with because, again, you're sitting there and demanding money for something that happened to somebody else. And I can't wrap my mind around that. Well, there's another issue with this that came up. In San Francisco, I know it's San Francisco. San Francisco came up with there was always a lot of ideas for reparations floating around out there, and they always tried to make them palatable, right? They always tried to make them, it's like, well, what about we get a tax break? Well, what if you like low interest loans? Things like that for reparations. We'll do that. I'm against that too. But at least they were trying, right? They weren't being idiots. They were trying. And then San Francisco said, screw it. We're going all in. And we want every African-American descendant of a slave that lives in the city of San Francisco to receive $5 million. Every one of them that lives in San Francisco who was the descendant of a slave gets $5 million. Now, they have no way to fund this. But you know what they're saying? Well, we'll just tax the rich, and then we'll take $5 million. And then, of course, you'll have to tax the descendants of slaves because they'll be the rich, and you'll have to take the $5 million away. And then there'll be another complaint for reparation because it's all stupid, and that's how it makes sense. But anyway, a Superior Court judge, Joseph Quinn, ruled this past week that a lawsuit challenging the city's race-based reparations fund is premature, sustaining a demurrer. I don't know what that is. It looks like demure, but it's not. Demurrer against the suit. A demurrer is I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, is an objection stating that the evidence presented was not sufficient to proceed for a review by the judge. So basically they're saying the idea of reparations being race-based, which I guess is what they would have to be, wouldn't they? I mean, I would think. Anyway, the idea of being race-based would be bad, is premature, so we're just going to let it keep going forward. And the problem with that is that the more it goes forward, the more people start seeing that, wait a minute, I could get, literally, in the case of California, San Francisco. It's not California as a whole yet. It's the city of San Francisco. Everybody's going to want to get their hands on $5 million. I would. I couldn't even claim to be the descendant of a slave. Naked, I look like a glass of milk with hair, all right? There is absolutely no way that anybody would look at me and believe I had any African-American heritage in my system. But either way. And again, I shouldn't have to pay anything. My family didn't even get here until after the turn of the century. 1900. So there was no slavery back then. But the Pacific Legal Foundation, several San Francisco residents, of course, and the Californians for Equal Rights Foundation sued San Francisco, challenging an ordinance that establishes the fund for black residents. The lawsuit alleges that the ordinance discriminates on the basis of race. That's it's reparations. The very idea of reparations is racist. And I don't understand why people don't realize that you're being pandered to. If you hear a politician say reparations, you saw Al Green talk about that. Al Green's not going to be there anymore. He didn't get voted out of office. They did the gerrymandering, redistricting, and his district got changed, and he lost to somebody else. So he's just looking for attention right now. But anytime you look for that, see that happening, if you see any politician doing that, they're pandering to you. They want you to know that they're the ones who are trying to get free money for you. They want you to vote for them. with the idea that if I vote for that person, they'll give me free money. Even though nothing happened to me. I'll get free money for all of this. Great, fantastic. I'd sign up too. But they say it allows taxpayer money to be funneled into the fund. The plaintiff said a win would protect taxpayers from supporting government-run race-based programs and establish boundaries for other cities implementing similar policies. That's really what the lawsuit was all about. Because, if San Francisco's idea goes forward, where descendants of slaves in the city of San Francisco will all get $5 million, that's the plan, then other cities across the state of California, at least, will push for it. And if any idea for reparations goes forward anywhere, then, when you see the dominoes fall and it just spreads like crazy and fast and they all fall down and it's super fun, that'll happen here, except it won't be super fun. They're going to have to come up with the money for it. Now, there are rules for this, okay? There are specific standards you have to meet, requirements you have to meet in San Francisco. You're going to have to have lived there for a certain amount of time. You're going to have to prove that you're the descendant of someone who was a slave. One of the shocking things that African-American people find out when they start talking and researching things is that not all of them are descendants of slaves. And I think those are the people who get really mad about the idea of reparations. But either way, it does happen. So you're not going to see a mass migration to the city of San Francisco because they put some foundations in place there anywhere. But San Francisco, I believe, is the 5th or 6th largest city in the country. So it's still going to be a significant amount of money, hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars of taxpayer money to go to reparations. And again, they're doing this so that, hey, look at what, we're stupider than everybody else. That's not what they're saying. Look, we're more progressive and forward thinking than anybody else. But if it exists, then everybody's going to be pushing for it. And I'm curious. I would love you to call in, but I'm curious if you think reparations should exist in any form at all. Because right now, there is nobody who deserves reparations. Zero. Nobody at all. There is nobody who was a slave. If there was somebody who was a slave still out there, then I could get on board with something. Since there is nobody out there who was a slave, I can't get on board with reparations for anybody, anywhere. You have the same opportunities that I have as a pasty white translucent male. If you can prove that you are being discriminated against and deserve some sort of financial restitution for that, there are already laws on the books for that. But just giving you money because something bad happened to somebody you were related to 150 years ago, that doesn't hold water for me. That doesn't work for me. But I'm curious if there is anybody out there who truly believes that reparations, again, should exist on any level. 855-839-1210 is the number here. Again, years ago, they used to push the idea of a tax break. In fact, it was a big, it was one of the first internet myths that I remember hearing about. Is that people would get an email saying, hey, if you're an African-American person, and it was a joke, it was a bad joke, but it was a joke, just put this code down somewhere or claim that you're of African-American heritage, and you'll get like $5,000 off your taxes or something like that. I can't remember the exact wording of everything. Something along those lines. And you won't have to pay those taxes because that's reparations. And a ridiculous amount of people fell for it. A ridiculous amount of people fell for that nonsense to the point where they actually had to start issuing press releases and doing news stories telling people that, no, this is fake. You're being lied to. And the sad part about it is these people were being lied to just to make fun of them. There wasn't like the Nigerian prince that we've all, let's be honest, given our banking and information to once or twice in our lives. Because this time it's got to be right? They stopped that last guy. But either way, nobody was getting any money for this. You weren't sending somebody an Amazon gift card and they were going to tell you the reparations code. They were just doing this to make you look stupid. And the sad part is it worked. A lot of people looked stupid. because, and I don't like faulting the people who fall for it. Because again, if somebody came up to me and said, hey, reparations for dumb white guys, I'd say, cool. And I would take the money and I would run and I would go buy candy and ice cream and Carrie Underwood videos, all sorts of things I would do with the money. But I fault the people who are lying to you. I fault the people who are trying to convince you that you deserve reparations. I fault the people who are victimizing stupid people. Because only a stupid person would actually fall for this. And so I fault you, the people who are trying to convince you that because something horrible happened to somebody that you never met and never even knew, just happened to be related to, you deserve, in the case of San Francisco, they're talking millions of dollars. I don't know what Al Green is pushing. I don't know what he's pushing for. I'll tell you what he wants. He wants attention. Because, like I said, he's the idiot who stands up and shakes his fist every time there's a State of the Union address. But that's what he wants. He wants attention. I don't know what they're calling for. A lot of times it's vague. A lot of time, like in the idea of what he was saying in that clip, we'll start a Department of Recreational Justice, whatever they call it. So we'll study the issue. We've studied the issue. I've studied the issue. And like just the other day, I studied the issue. I was watching House Hunters. I had a bowl of ice cream in front of me and a Yoo-hoo. And I sat there and I thought, while I was studying, I thought to myself, nothing happened to these people. Doesn't matter what their race is. Doesn't matter their ethnicity. Not a single damn thing happened to them. And since nothing happened to them, why should they get any money? And that's the way I tended to look at that. And after a deep, intense study, which I did, and after finishing my ice cream and my Yoo-hoo, I came to the conclusion. I did not write my conclusions down. I just remembered them because I'm smart. But I came to the conclusion that nobody that nothing happened to should get any money at all. And that's kind of where we're looking at here. But this is all taxpayer stuff, too. I'm honestly baffled. That they're able to convince people or they're able to, politicians who don't give a damn about your money, let's be honest. I don't care if they're a Republican or Democrat. They do not give a damn about your money. All they care about, they'll spend your money, but they don't give a damn how. The people who are pushing this idea are just doing this for some sort of historical credit, so there will be statues of them long after they die. Democratic Mayor, and again, this is San Francisco, Daniel Lurie, in December, signed an ordinance that creates a reparations fund that could one day grant each of the city's eligible black residents up to $5 million in reparations for alleged historic discrimination and displacement. I have not displaced anybody. Why should my tax dollars go to that? Doesn't have a funding source, though. That's problematic. So they're trying to avoid, they want people to donate to it. And so that the money could be disseminated to stupid people. But the ordinance passed by the Board of Supervisors in December was signed by Lurie 2 days before Christmas when nobody was really paying attention. Or maybe it was planned that way. Santa Lurie. This is your Christmas present, $5 million each. But either way, it established the legal framework for the fund, but did not allocate funds or guarantee payments. So there's no funding source for the Santa Claus Reparations Fund. So I don't know where the money comes from. And it doesn't guarantee payments to anybody. It's just a fund that has no, again, source. They do not say, because, again, they say the fund can be financed with private donations, foundations, and other non-city sources. Any taxpayer-funded reparations payouts would require separate legislation, an identified funding source, and mayoral approval. But given the fact that it's in San Francisco, you could probably get all of those things out there. You could probably get a bunch of lawmakers to write a law. They could put a tax on whatever. I don't know. They tax you for everything else in California right now, so I don't know what they would tax for. And that would be the identified funding source. And then the mayor would absolutely approve that because what do they have to lose, right? And again, years from now, they'll realize that this mayor fought the fight and allowed for the reparations for all the people that nothing happened to, and we'll just be able to go forward. And that's really what they're pushing for right now, just the foundation of everything. So I guess it's there. I guess it's established the legal framework for a fund, but there's nothing in the fund. And then people would have to fund the fund. I don't know. How does this stop? How long do we let this go, by the way? Is this a one-time payment? Because they don't create the, like I said, they don't create the criteria for anything there. I know that there is specific criteria about how long you have to have lived in San Francisco, because there's only San Francisco. And I know that there's criteria for, you do actually have to be a descendant of a slave. And again, a lot of people get shocked when they realize they're not the descendant of a slave and aren't going to get any money. I wonder if they keep fighting for it afterwards. I wonder if they keep fighting or they give up because they're not going to get any money. But either way, all those things are solid, but the dollar amount they're calling for is eligible black residents to receive up to $5 million in reparations. So it depends on how many people were there and how much money is in the fund. And I don't know if it has to be fully funded before they start writing $5 million checks or how any of that is going to work. One thing this does do, which I think is really smart, is it shows how stupid the idea of reparations is. It shows how people that nothing happened to shouldn't get money that they're not that they don't deserve because the money's not there. You're talking about bankrupting an entire city, but they don't care about that because they'll take their $5 million and they'll move and they'll get out of there. But it does illustrate sort of how ridiculous the idea of this is. It does illustrate how stupid it is. I don't expect anybody who might get the money to stand up and say this is ridiculous. I don't expect anybody who might get a $5 million check to stand up and say, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. No, I'm not taking $5 million. I'm going to keep working my job at Burger King. And I'm going to live off of minimum wage, which I think in California is $800 an hour. I'm not exactly sure right now. But either way, I'm going to keep working my dead-end job. And moving forward, I'm not cashing that check because it's a stupid idea. Nobody would do that. In fact, as soon as they pass any legislation for like that here, I'm going to do a 23andMe, Ancestry.com background check. If I can find any connection to any African-American slave anywhere, and I shouldn't because, like I said, my family didn't even get here until after 1900. But if I can find any connection, I am going to walk to City Hall with my hand out and demand my $5 million check because it's hard to sleep at night when I have to think about all the things that didn't happen to me. It's hard to rest and sleep, and it's hard to make something of my life when I think about all the things that didn't happen to me. And so I deserve $5 million. 855-839-1210 is the number here. When we come back, we are going to talk to you about a father who left his daughter in a car to get water ice and what happened with that. I'm Casey Bartholomew. It's 4:30. You're listening to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
I finished a 5K in 94th place. Right after a man wearing jeans. They still gave me a medal. I don't want a reward for doing. I want a reward for dominating. Like Daily Prize Matcher on Bet365. I play for free and win real rewards, like up to $5,000 in cash weekly. Unlike that joker in denim. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically present in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply.
Hi, this is Dave Barlow from Barlow Buick GMC in Woodbury, New Jersey.
Baseball season is heating up, and so are the savings here at Barlow. The All-Star Buick GMC lineup is waiting for you. Leading off, the powerful GMC Sierra, built to knock expectations out of the park and be the MVP of every road trip. Visit Barlow Buick GMC this summer, where honest pricing and dedicated service are always part of the lineup, or shop 24/7 at barlowautogroup.com. Buick, exceptional by design. GMC, we are professional grade.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
NVIDIA is taking aim at the PC market with a new AI chip designed for Windows-based PCs. The NVIDIA RTX Spark chip is touted as being able to perform 1,000 trillion calculations per second. NVIDIA says the chip is designed for AI, content creation, and gaming for Windows laptops and desktop PCs. Rival chip makers, along with Apple, felt stock pressure from NVIDIA's new PC chip. I'm Jason Brooks.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
.436, Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Casey Bartholomew. I'll be with you until 6 o'clock. Stick around after 6. That'll be when Rich Zioli comes on. 855-839-1210 is the number here. That's 855-839-1210. We still have a bunch of stuff to get to. I saw the story yesterday. This infuriates me every time I see it. And we need to start hitting people in the head with big, heavy things. until they learn. Because a 2-month-old had to be reunited with her father, and a man was arrested after stealing a minivan that had a baby in the back seat and crashing into several vehicles, as well as a police car. This is all according to the Philadelphia Police Department. This all began at about 8 p.m. yesterday, when a 34-year-old man stopped at Rita's Water Ice on the 8600 block of Frankfurt Avenue. Philadelphia Police Chief Inspector Scott Small said, that's a great name. Unfortunate, but great. At the time, the man parked his red Toyota minivan, got out, and left it running with his 2-month-old baby girl in the back seat. Everything about that is wrong. If you ever need to get out of your car, you take your child with you. You take the baby with you. If you don't, this is what happens. I guess he thought he was scoring points by leaving the AC on, leaving the car on. Why in the hell would you get out of the car, leave it running, and leave your child in? Were you daring somebody to steal your car? It's like those boneheads, and you hear about it almost every year. These boneheads who have to stop at Wawa or something, or 7-Eleven, get a cup of coffee, and the words are always the same. I just ran in for a second. Oh, well, did you tell the car thief that? Because that's kind of the unwritten rule. If they're just going in for a second, you're not allowed to steal the car. Those are the rules, I think, in car thievery. But this happens all the time, and then they steal the car, and the baby's inside, or the kid's inside. I think we're lucky so far. I don't ever think every kid has ever ended up murdered or lost forever in those cases. There was a case, I think it was in Chicago. I remember talking about it. Maybe Detroit. Can't remember. It was a long time ago. Where somebody stole a car with the baby inside, drove far away, took the baby out of the car, and left it on the side of the road in the winter. And somebody just happened to hear the baby crying. It could have frozen to death. But you never leave your kid in the car. This is child abuse, child endangerment. This 34-year-old idiot should be charged with a crime because he left his child in a running car and just, I guess, thought that was okay. It's not ever okay. It's not ever okay. And yes, before you ask, I have 2 kids, and I never, not really ever, not just when I ran in for a minute, I never left my kids in the car. And there's a reason for that. Because of this. This car got stolen and the guy was standing right there. Because you never leave your kids in the car. Ever. Now, he was standing next to the vehicle. Oh, well, that makes it okay. Apparently not next enough. Apparently not close enough. Because someone was able to walk up, get in the car, and drive it away. So I would like to hear exactly how next to the vehicle he was standing. Clearly not next to the driver's side of the vehicle, because while he was standing there, somebody opened the door, got in, and drove the car away, with his 2-month-old daughter in the back seat. So I'd like to see exactly how next to the car we were. Now, he said he was standing next to the vehicle while his girlfriend was getting water ice when a 42-year-old man got into the minivan and drove off. If your girlfriend's getting water ice, why do you need to get out? Why do you need to get out and put your child in danger? He was standing next to the vehicle when this happened. Officers ended up seeing the minivan as it passed Grant Avenue and Academy Road, where it hit a car with his child in the back, which is now not only the car thief's fault, but it's also Dad's fault for leaving the 2-month-old in the vehicle. Now the 2-month-old is in danger because the person who stole the car, apparently on top of being a thief and a criminal, also has some questionable driving skills. But this is also partially Dad's fault. The minivan continued onto Roosevelt Boulevard, where it crashed into another car. Also partially Dad's fault. Near the intersection of Red Line Road, the man got out of the car and ran into a wooded area where police chased him. Apparently left the 2-month-old in the car. That's good. What is you got to question. What's wrong with this 2-month-old? That people keep leaving it in the car and going away. Is there a problem with it? Is it mouthy? Something like that? Cry a lot? Does it have like that baby problem where they cry all the time? Croup? I don't know. But either way, the police chased the guy. The man was ultimately taken into custody, and the minivan was recovered by authorities because no one was inside of it. The 2-month-old girl was unharmed and was reunited with her father. Also, officials said that the suspect was transported to a nearby hospital for medical evaluation. I hope they gave him something to be evaluated by, meaning I hope they hit him in the head. A police officer was treated at a nearby hospital after suffering minor injuries in this incident. Charges against the suspected car thief are pending, but charges should also be pending against the dad. This little girl would have been perfectly safe if Dad wouldn't have gotten out of the car. You know, Jerry Seinfeld does that comedy bit where he sees people driving down the road and they're holding onto the mattress on top of their car with their hand, with their arm, thinking that if the wind takes the mattress, they're going to be able to hold on to it. This idiot father probably thought the same thing. If anybody ever walks up to my car and gets in and drives away, I'll just stop them. Well, how did that work out? He found out the hard way, the wrong way. The thing that most people knew, that you never leave your child alone, especially in a running car, where you leave the keys in the car. I think that's becoming less of a problem because of fobs. If the car gets too far away, it just stops anyway. But still, then you've got a car that's gotten far away and your baby is God knows where because you let some idiot get into the car. But either way, that could become less of a problem with the fob in a fob culture, in a fob-centric world. I like saying fob. But either way, this idiot father, and yes, he is an idiot, and no, I do not believe it's enough of a punishment to know that he almost lost his baby, because he almost lost his baby. He almost lost the child when he got out of the car, left the car running, and wasn't able to stop the guy from stealing the car. And wasn't standing close enough or paying close enough attention to the 2-month-old in the back of the car that he was able to stop or, maybe block somebody from trying to steal his car. So, yeah, I don't think attempted murder charges should be the case here. I don't think that should be the order of the day. But I do believe that, like I said, reckless endangerment, child endangerment, child abuse, epic stupidity. I don't know, whatever the legalese definition is. There needs to be something here because this baby was in the car. Again, I think we do have to look at the baby because 2 separate adults within the span of 30 minutes just left the car and left the baby in the car. You got to know what's going on there. Is that Ebola going on out there? Maybe the kid's sick. But either way, we need to do something to the responsible adults who are responsible for taking care of their children and responsible for making sure that bad things don't happen to their children. Make sure that bad things don't happen to the children that they are charged with taking care of and leaving them in a vehicle. And yeah, it's heartless. And yes, I never, ever did leave my kids in the car. There was one time I remember. My daughter was just a little baby. And I was driving around and I got hungry and I wanted to go to something to eat. And so I was driving around. I was in New Jersey, and I was driving around, and I came across a bank, and it had an ATM, but it didn't have a drive-up ATM. And I parked directly in front of the ATM. I mean, I was 10 feet from the ATM when I parked my car. I still, at that point, unclipped my daughter, the car seat unhooked. I unhooked my daughter, carried the car seat up to the ATM, put my card in, got $20. This was before you could pay with anything but cash at a McDonald's. And there were also velociraptors running around. But anyway, I got $20 out of the bank, picked my daughter back up, put her back in the car, got in the car, started it, and drove away and went and got my food in the drive-thru. So that even that one time when I was right there, I could see it, which is what they always say. I didn't leave my child in the car. And the reason I didn't leave my child in the car is because you never leave your child in the car. And if you're a boneheaded parent and you do that, there needs to be some you need to go to parenting classes, maybe not locked in a cage, but you need to be hit in the head for a little while a long while, until you realize we don't leave children, we don't leave babies in cars, even if they're running, because that's when they get stolen. 855-839-1210 is the number here. That's 855-839-1210. When we come back, we're going to talk about something that stupid people like me could use. They're called repair cafes, and I don't think it's a bad idea. That's coming up. My name is Casey Bartholomew. It's 447. You're listening to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally, take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2026 KBB.com best value brand. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.49% APR on a 2026 HR-V.
Visit Piazza Hyundai of Philadelphia, Langhorne, Pottstown, Reading, or Springfield today.
See dealer for financing details. Based on 2026 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Babbel proudly presents the Sheep Cheese Fiasco.
Cute market. Ooh, cheese. Let's get cheese. Cheese, cheese, cheese.
Hola. Quiero una oveja pequeñita.
¿Una oveja pequeñita?
Sí.
Bueno, pues tengo como 20.
Oh, no.
Oh, but they're cute.
Don't let your Spanish fool you. Avoid bringing home the farm with Babbel, the award-winning language learning app.
Can you make us some cheese, please? Oh. Cheese.
You're not cheese.
Practice with Babbel's guided conversations based on real situations. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will have you speaking conversationally in as little as 3 weeks.
Yes. Oh, you're so sweet.
Get up to 50% off on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's 50% off at BABBEL.com.
Hey, this is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. How many times are you going to listen to my voice before you finally go to investorschooling.com? I can't believe you haven't signed up for a class yet. You're going to learn real estate investing. You're going to learn stock options trading. You're going to learn things about money that you didn't even know existed. Go to investorschooling.com right now. Oh my goodness. This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class. See you there.
Hey, Dawn here. Get ready to ride in style this summer with that new or certified luxury vehicle you've been wanting. My friends from Piazza Premium Automobiles are here to assist you in your unique vehicle search. The Piazza Premium family, featuring dealerships across Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey. Find your Mercedes, Benz, BMW, Porsche, Infiniti, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, Jaguar, or Land Rover. PiazzaPremiumAutos.com, Piazza, PiazzaPremiumAutos.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers. And on the sidelines, we cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Summer is here, and that means pool days and patio nights. But is your uneven concrete making your backyard feel more like a construction zone than a vacation spot? Stop worrying about stubbed toes and stumbles. Keystone Guncrete can level your pool deck and patio quickly and cleanly, saving you thousands over the cost of pouring new concrete. We'll have your backyard party ready before your water even gets warm. Head to KeystoneGuncrete.com. Remember, Guncrete is spelled with a K. Mention 1210 and we'll take $50 off your project.
No! USA is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
You can now tune in to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
You're playing a lot of ABBA songs today. Why is that? 451, Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. I am not a dancing queen. My name is Casey Bartholomew. I'll be with you until 6 o'clock. Stick around after 6. That's when Rich Zioli comes on, 855-839-1210. I'm not surprised because he also told me he was watching a soccer. Was it game? They call them games, matches, tournaments, matches. God, I hate soccer. God, I'll be so glad when the what is it, FIFA, FOFA, whatever. All of the World Cup stuff is gone. I think that soccer is first not a sport. It's skipping back and forth in a meadow, in a field. Don't use your hands. Ooh. And it is the most boring thing I've ever laid eyes on, ever. Somebody used to tell me, I went and watched my niece play once when she was 4, I think, and they all ran back and forth in one big grouping, so it wasn't real soccer. But that was more exciting than an actual soccer match. The only Olympic sport I've ever seen is a soccer match. I was a little kid. I was living in Los Angeles, and the Olympics were there in 1984. And my dad was able to score tickets to an Olympic event. And at the time, we didn't care. We just wanted to go see the Olympics because they were all over the place. We were living in Los Angeles. They were everywhere, right? And he said soccer. And I went, soccer? Oh, cool. A game. That's an actual sport. Because I was a little kid and I was stupid. So I didn't know any better. And we went there and time stood still. And it was Italy versus Costa Rica. And I would like to tell you how it ended, but that was in 1984, and it's still going on. It never ended. It was just running back and forth and back, and I'm sure I saw skipping. And then, oh my God, somebody did something bad. Look at this. It's a red card. Look at that. And I want to tell people, you've been fooled. You've been deceived. Nothing about this requires any skill at all. It's running back and forth and kicking a ball. That's it. There's nothing about it that's worth spending any of your life on. And you go to European countries where there is clearly something in the water and something in the water that does bad things. Okay, let's be honest. It affects these people in a negative way. And they will actually fight like burning beat downs, all sorts of things, as though anybody really cared about soccer. And all that tells me, I think they call it football over there. Should we tell them what real football is? Are they comfortable with that? I mean, I don't want to scare them, because there's a theory in psychology that if you tell people the truth about something too quickly, they'll get scared and their heads will literally explode. So I think maybe we don't tell them what football really is. But anyway, they go out there and they'll just beat on each other and set stuff on fire as though anything that they just watched was worth seeing or dying over. And all of I'm curious to see. I'm not going to watch any of the events unless I'm suicidal and I just want to get pushed over the edge. But I'm not going to watch any of the events because, A, it's boring. But I'm curious to see if they get all the money and everything, because all the reports coming out are that they booked all these rooms, and they wanted to have all these rooms available for people through the soccer booking agency, which, by the way, booking hotel rooms for a soccer match, this is science. This is actual truth. Doctors have actually studied this. Booking a hotel room for a soccer match is actually more entertaining and thrilling than the actual soccer match. So you should all book hotel rooms. But apparently people aren't booking hotel rooms for the soccer matches to the degree that they thought. And this is everywhere. And I remember, was it 94? I think it was 94, where the last World Cup was around and it was in America, or there were some matches in America. Something was going on because I was in Boston and there were signs. I remember seeing signs. And people didn't go nuts to the degree that they're going nuts now. And I think they're going to be very disappointed when they go to the soccer match and they watch it and they go, that's it? It's going to be like when you find out the truth about Santa Claus and you're really, really sad because all of your fantasies are nothing now, right? All of your fantasies are just thrown in, and it's just terrible. But anyway, all right, I got off on a little tangent there. I apologize for that. I don't apologize for my opinion. Soccer sucks. I'm sorry. It just sucks. But so I don't apologize for my opinion for that. But either way. All right. When we come back, we are going to talk to you about ICE agents arrested somebody on a school campus, and this happened in Maryland, and people went nuts. And we'll talk to you about it coming up. My name is Casey Bartholomew. It is 4:57. You're listening to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Well, Lorenzo, the pitch looked good.
Yeah, so green.
USA keeper was decent enough.
Didn't have much to do.
99 minutes.
Not a single goal. Well, Bet365 sure came through, though. I bet $10 and got $365 in bonus bets just for signing up.
At least someone scored.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
If clutter is costing you time, fix it right away. Closet Factory designs and installs custom storage for closets, pantries, and home offices. Schedule a free design consultation at closetfactory.com. Closetfactory.com.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. If you're like me, dental visits meant cleanings twice a year until suddenly they didn't. As teeth age and wear down, small issues can become complex problems. That's where expertise matters most. At Bentz Dental Group, board-certified prosthodontist Dr. Robert Bentz and Dr. Emily Bentz specialize in advanced and complex dental care. They deliver precise diagnosis and customized treatment plans designed for your long-term health. Call 610-272-6949 or visit BentzDentalGroup.com.
My obstructive hypertrophic cardiomyopathy kept me from baseball games with my boys. The stairs were too much. With Camzyos, my symptoms have improved and I can be more active again. Camzyos is a cardiac myosin inhibitor, the first in its class to treat adults with symptomatic OHCM. Camzyos may improve your symptoms and ability to be active, and it reduced obstruction in the heart 4 times more.
In a 30-week study, Camzyos, mavacamten, reduced post-exercise obstruction on average 47 units of pressure versus 10 with placebo. Results may vary. Camzyos may cause serious side effects, including heart failure that can lead to death, a risk that's increased with serious infection, irregular heartbeat, or with certain other medicines. Do not stop, start, or change medicines or dose without telling your doctor. You must have echocardiograms before and during treatment. Seek help for new or worsening heart failure symptoms. Camzyos is only available through a restricted program. Before taking, tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and current or planned pregnancy, as Camzyos may harm your unborn baby.
Visit Camzyos.com or call 1-855-CAMZYOS. Actor Portrayal.
Hey, this is Larry Steiners with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
Prices dropped. Both U.S. and Iranian officials making conflicting statements as there may be some kind of announcement in Geneva this weekend. ABC News contributor and former Deputy Secretary of Defense on the Middle East, Mick Mulroy.
Ultimately, if the two sides don't agree on the terms, they don't have an agreement. And I can't imagine why Iran would be leaking, false information on the agreement for any other purpose than to scuttle the negotiations.
Police say they know who the shooter was this morning in Midland, Texas, a person sought for the alleged attempted murder of an officer earlier this week. They say after that person is dead. 9 others taken to the hospital. Workers preparing to take President Trump's name off the Kennedy Center in Washington. Today is the court-ordered deadline to do so, and a federal judge has denied a last-minute appeal to stop it. Now the Justice Department's filing another last-minute appeal. ABC's Peter Harlambous.
Trump was planning on closing down the Kennedy Center for about 2 years, pouring about $250 million into improving the center overall. Trump has now basically said that if his name's not on it, that renovation's not happening.
Harlambous saying that the chief executive very angry about the situation. You're listening to ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
I've been telling you all about the secret war on our cash and the free report you can receive a copy of by contacting Swiss America at 800-289-2646. I'd also like to encourage you to subscribe to their podcast on YouTube. Just search Swiss America Trading. The podcast can provide you a ton of vital information and financial news in the challenging and uncertain times we're in. Subscribe today. Learn more about BRICS, industry leaders, and their market predictions for the future, along with what you might expect to see in terms of precious metal performance in the weeks and months ahead. Message and data rates may apply.
A federal judge today rejected a request to cancel the White House's UFC fight, ruling the two plaintiffs had no standing because they could not establish what irreparable harm they would suffer. A federal judge has blocked President Trump's $1.8 billion fund to benefit those claiming damages by the Biden administration. The judge says the acting attorney general has not rescinded in writing, under penalty of perjury, his order establishing the fund. The judge saying that could leave the door open to save it. Ebola cases in the Democratic Republic of Congo are over 600, with over 100 deaths. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel says World Cup fans in the U.S. should not be worried.
This is not COVID or measles, where it's going to be airborne spread. Ebola transmission really requires close contact and exposure to bodily fluids. Usually if you are a healthcare provider or you're a caregiver or you have a burial ritual, which is exactly how it was spreading or suspected so in Africa.
Travel troubles for Pope Leo as he departed Spain after a technical problem left him grounded on the Canary Islands. ABC's Marcus Moore.
The King of Spain then offered his plane for Pope Leo to get back to Rome, and that's when we saw Pope Leo walking across the tarmac and getting on to the King's private plane, and then a short time after that taking off. Heading to Rome some 3 hours after he was supposed to leave originally.
Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
What's one of your favorite memories?
That's a tough question. Well, there was this one time I went camping with my parents in a forest back when I was maybe like 8 or 9. And I can remember one night we were laying out in our hammocks and we were just, watching the trees rustling in the wind above us, and we could hear the sounds of the forest all around us. Frogs singing and owls calling and the creek running nearby. It was amazing. It felt like we were a part of it all. I don't know if I do it justice trying to describe it, but I'll definitely never forget it.
Most of us have a memory of being in nature we'll never forget. Let's protect the world's natural places so more memories can be made for generations to come. Visit worldwildlife.org.
WPHT, WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Now, The Drive at 5. 30 minutes minutes of non-stop talk from Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
All right, let's give it a shot. We worked all week, the sun rose slow, coffee causing all that flow. But now we're here, the weekend's near. Friday, hallelujah, loud and clear. So lift your voice, the week is done. You stay with us, we've had our fun. With every cheer, we sing as one. Friday, hallelujah.
.507 Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Casey Bartholomew. I'll be with you until 6 o'clock, another hour. That will be when Rich Zioli comes on. 855-839-1210 is the number here. That's 855-839-1210. I would like to see where the rules say that immigration enforcement is like hide and seek, where if you get to a base or a free zone at any point in time, that means that nobody can touch you. You're free. You're safe. Because there was a situation in, I think it was in Baltimore. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents had been pursuing an undocumented immigrant. Now, that means illegal alien is what that means. Who, with his family, drove into the parking lot of Commodore John Rogers Elementary / Middle School around 8 a.m., according to authorities and witnesses. We have some a soundbite about this, about the arrest at the Baltimore school, because people are flipping out because ICE went on ICE went onto the campus. The guy drove onto the campus because he was trying to escape. And they went in there and they arrested him. And kids saw it. Well, it's about time kids see that illegal aliens who might harm you are being arrested and that ICE is keeping you safe. But either way, they're flipping out because they're sort of trying to twist the narrative. But let's go ahead and play cut number 7 here.
This is actually the second time in about a 3-week period where they did the same thing.
As ICE officers were taking 2 men into custody here in the parking lot at Commodore John Rogers Elementary Middle School, this woman was taking video during the pre-K graduation ceremony.
This is criminal! What is wrong with you? This is a school property!
In a statement to WBAL News, the acting assistant secretary of Homeland Security saying the man ended up here at the school after earlier trying to evade the officers and actually dragging one of the officers in the process, something that ICE says he also did in April, evading officers, causing a collision with an ICE vehicle before fleeing the scene.
Wow. This is criminal! What's wrong with you? Doesn't matter that the criminals are the ones who are the eluding ICE. Doesn't matter that. Doesn't matter that the criminal was the one who drove on. If the criminal was a rapist or a murderer, and they're illegal aliens, so they may very well be. I mean, I think it's even money at this point, right? So if the criminal is there and is an illegal alien, are we not supposed to go in there? I wonder what would happen if one of these morons, they were there for a pre-K promotion ceremony, I think is what they said. There's no pre-K graduation. I don't care what. There was no kindergarten or pre-K graduation. You learned how to finger paint. You're going next. You're going to the next level. Congratulations. But either way, let's say there was a rapist and murder. And again, it's an illegal alien, so it's even money. And it comes after that woman's kid. Is she going to say, why didn't you get him? Are they going to accept that? No, we couldn't go on school property and get the rapist and murderer because you people don't like that. You don't like it because you're hypersensitive and you scream and cry when we go onto the school property. So we can't do that. So that's a problematic. You hypersensitive ones out there. So that's what they. But no, they don't do that. If somebody is a criminal and is potentially putting the children at the school in danger, then we go get them, right? Especially if this one person has a history of trying to elude ICE. You go get them. It doesn't matter if it hurts your delicate sensibilities. This is criminal. It's not criminal. I don't know where these people learn this nonsense. It is not criminal to go and catch the bad guys. It's the bad guys are the criminals. The people chasing the bad guys are the good guys. And somewhere we got it all ass backwards, and I don't understand. Now, the man who is identified as Jesus Acevedo Sanchez refused lawful commands. What? But wait a minute. I thought the ICE people were the criminals. I thought the people enforcing the laws were the criminals. If he was refusing lawful commands, why that would make him a criminal. Well, that's just not right, is it? But he violently resisted arrest. No, he couldn't have done that because they're peaceful. And he used his vehicle to evade law enforcement, dragging an ICE officer in the process. But wait a minute. Again, I thought the ICE agents were the criminals. I thought he was the bad guy. He was the good guy. The ICE agents were the criminals. If he's trying to murder an ICE agent, Renee Good, he's lucky he didn't get shot. The dummy, and he would have been justified if they had shot him. Department of Homeland Security spokesperson Lauren Biss said this. Agents pulled the man from the car as educators took 2 kids from the back seat, authorities and witnesses said. Soon the man was face down on the ground with 2 agents over him, as he should have been, because he's a scumbag. He's a criminal. And it doesn't matter if he just happened to make it to the school parking lot. Those aren't the rules. That's not the way it goes. There is nowhere that is written down that if an illegal alien scumbag is eluding police or ICE, if he makes it to the school, he gets to go free. Those aren't the rules of the game, I guess. The rules are that if we catch you, you're going away. If we catch you, you're going to be incarcerated. We'll determine whether or not we're able to deport you, and then you're going to be deported. Those are the rules. The scary thing is, we talked about it earlier in the show, Miss Rachel, the anti-Semitic children's entertainer. She's trying to teach kids on her channel that it's okay to break the law and okay to run away from the police, and that's not a good thing. Now, the man was face down while a woman peered out of the vehicle's broken window before she was led away, hands apparently restrained behind her back. I'm willing to bet that she, too, is an illegal alien. And again, I know everybody thinks if you make it to the school parking lot, that's the freezies. I get to go free. You don't get to arrest me now because I'm in a school parking lot. It's not the way it goes. I am someone who doesn't have a problem at all, even a little bit, with ICE going onto school campuses. I don't have a problem with them going into churches. I don't have a problem with them going anywhere. There is no free zone. There is no zone of safety. There is no cone of safety for you. If you're breaking the laws and you are eluding ICE, all we have to do is get you, and it doesn't matter to me where you are. In fact, I would add something to the laws that it guarantees deportation if you run onto a school campus, because if you do that, you're putting the kids in danger. Guarantees it. And people have the weirdest, most warped views. Remember when Trump actually started enforcing the laws last year? He actually started enforcing the immigration laws. And there were people there. I remember the scene. It was I think it was in the Fresno area in California. And this guy was eluding ICE and then ran into a doctor's office or something. And the idiots who were in charge of the doctor's office say, "You can't arrest him here. You can't do that." I've read the laws. There is nothing that says schools, and there is nothing that says doctor's offices. If you're a bad guy, they should be able to go get you wherever you are, and apparently these are bad, evil humans. The arrests in view of kids with colorful backpacks. I'm sorry. It's not that the kids have colorful backpacks, right? It's like they're trying to. This is just an effort. Where is this story? This is from CNN, so of course the CNN has an agenda. But it's this effort to try to make it seem like the ICE agents, faces covered, dressed all in black, thinking their evil thoughts and doing their evil things. Intentionally tried to traumatize innocent little kindergarten students with their colorful backpacks and their Hello Kitty pencil sets, and arrested someone who may very well be a rapist or a murderer. But it's ICE that's evil for doing this. And they deserve to be incarcerated, the ICE agents do. And that's what they say. So anyway, again, this from CNN, the arrests in view of kids with colorful backpacks preparing for pre-K and kindergarten promotion ceremonies marked the latest chapter of the Trump administration's wildly successful nationwide immigration crackdown in front of the kids and their colorful backpacks. If they wouldn't have had colorful backpacks, would it have been okay? If these were sort of emo, kind of morose kids, kind of more earth tones in their backpacks, maybe dark sort of things in their backpacks, sad kids, would it have been okay? Would it have been okay to arrest criminals in front of that? I'm just curious. I'm trying to figure out. See, they change the rules all the time, and I'm always trying to figure out what it is. Maryland State Senator Bill Ferguson, who is a Democrat, said, "It is truly unconscionable and unbelievable what happened this morning." Oh, there's video. You don't believe it? There's video. Let's go ahead and look at the video. It's easy. It's right. That's right there. It absolutely is believable because it absolutely should have happened. Now, behind the scenes, ICE was apologetic to state and school officials about the arrest happening on school grounds, noting circumstances led them there. This is what a source familiar with things said. To be clear, Biss, this is the spokesperson, said, to be clear, ICE does not target schools. They should. Absolutely should. And yes, I don't care if the kids have nightmares because their parents are scumbags. And if your scumbag parents are using you to try to be free and remain scumbags, unincarcerated and undeported, then the kids absolutely should have to look at that and judge their parents for it because their parents are scum. But they said, to be clear, ICE does not target schools, but we will not allow criminals to hide in our nation's schools and put the safety of children at risk. Yeah, that is kind of a thing, isn't it? I mean, this guy tried to kill an ICE agent, tried to pull an ICE agent away with his car. That's their MO now. Ever since we canonized Renee Good, who tried to murder an ICE agent with her car, and she got shot for it. Ever since that happened last year, they tried to make it seem as though, oh no, that you can hit them with cars because they're not going to do anything now. That's the way it goes. I guess ICE agents aren't allowed to do their jobs at all. The children taken from the SUV are now in the custody of their aunt. Did they check her status? Oh, I'm serious. They check the aunt's status. We could arrest her too. That way we don't have to chase her into a school parking lot because that's where she'll initially go because, again, that's the free safety zone. But anyway, they're in the custody of an aunt after their parents were allowed to contact a relative. The man detained by ICE is facing federal charges of resisting and impeding federal officers and destruction of government property. This is all going to Biss, adding ICE had encountered Acevedo Sanchez this spring, saying during a previous ICE encounter in April, he caused a collision with an ICE vehicle before fleeing the scene. And so there you go. He collided with an ICE vehicle. So I would call that attempted murderer because they're illegal alien scumbags. And I think we need to go to the fullest extent of the law. So he damaged ICE vehicles. And again, I think they really do believe that that's not a crime. I think the illegal aliens really, truly do believe that if they use their car and crash into an ICE agent or a vehicle or crash into an actual ICE agent, which is what Renee Good tried to do, if they do all that, then it's not criminal. They might get a ticket, I guess. You ran over that ICE agent with your car and killed him. Okay, where do I sign? No, that's not the way it works. You're actually a criminal if you do that. And by the way, proving that this guy is violent and dangerous to all the kids, and proving again that they needed to go directly onto school property in order to make sure that the scumbag and his wife got arrested. Now, the Let's see, the woman in the vehicle, I say, yeah, okay. The administration of Maryland's Democratic governor was in touch with ICE leadership about what happened on Thursday and why it occurred on school grounds. Governor Westmore's probably going to run for president, said calling the incident disturbing. It is disturbing. I agree with Westmore. It is absolutely disturbing that we have created this mythology that if an illegal alien scumbag drives onto a school campus and puts the lives and safety of every child on that campus in danger, that they seem to believe that we're not going to do anything. They seem to think that they won't be prosecuted. That is why we need to have ICE on school campuses. I've never seen the legislation that said, well, the federal legislation, which is the only one that matters, really, in this case. I've never seen anything that says that ICE can't go onto school grounds. They aren't sacred. It's not like an Indian burial ground or anything. If a scumbag drives onto the school grounds, they aren't free. They don't just get to walk free. Live there with sanctuary, like Quasimodo, I guess. It was not immediately clear whether the family was affiliated with the school. Baltimore City Public Schools spokesperson Sherry Christensen said that. Biss, the spokesperson for ICE, said ICE leadership coordinated the school officials and the governor's office to ensure the situation was resolved safely and with minimal disruption to the community. Well, you're welcome. So ICE did what they should do. They made sure it was wrapped up quickly and that no kids were damaged. Thank you, ICE agents, for doing that and still catching the evil people. Now, the elementary students just getting to school didn't need an adult to explain what was going on, they say. The ICE vests and the men restrained on the ground told them all they needed to know, that there was an illegal alien scumbag who was driving on campus and may have been trying to rape or murder somebody. Because that's what illegal aliens do. Hey, if they're going to claim that ICE is evil, I'm going to claim that the illegal aliens are evil. So the ICE, what the message should have been sent, and what the teachers and administrators and parents should tell all those kids is that we've got heroes from ICE who drove on and didn't allow somebody who literally attempted to kill an ICE agent from a previous stop on campus and put you in danger. That's what we should be telling the kids. Unfortunately, it's a Democratic stronghold. It's Baltimore, so that's not what we are telling the kids. We're telling the kids that another evil ICE agent. They wear hats because they have horns. And they wear masks so you don't see their fangs because they're evil, and they were doing bad things. According to the young children said Thursday morning as Jude Castellanos drove the minivan ferrying the kids to class, she says, the kids were saying, they're going to arrest us. They're going to take us. Yes, they are. If you're illegal, yes, they are. If your parents are illegal aliens, yes, they are. Tell your parents to turn themselves in. The children in the small group, Castellanos, the bus driver, was driving to school, ranging from 1st to 5th grade, were terrified. Yeah, they should have been. There was a criminal illegal alien on campus. They absolutely should have been terrified. And they were screaming as they watched the arrest unfold, according to the bus driver. She said, I'm completely shocked because I've seen this in the streets, but I've never seen this inside of a parking lot in a school. The criminal drove onto the campus. The criminal drove to where the school was. You can't blame ICE agents for doing their job against somebody who already seemingly tried to murder an ICE agent with their vehicle in a previous attempt to stop them. You can't blame ICE agents because a criminal drove onto school campus. What you're saying, if you're against this happening, what you're saying is that if anybody drives onto a school campus anywhere, if they're in the process of committing a crime, then there's nothing, then they're free, there's nothing we can do. We have to leave the kids to be in danger, because they drove onto the school campus, and now there's nothing we can do about it. That's what you're saying. The principal of the school, an idiot named Mark Martin, said he was deeply disappointed the enforcement activity occurred on school grounds, and officials are seeking clear assurances that nothing like that occurs again. He wrote this in a letter to the school community. Are we seeking assurance from the illegal alien scumbag community that none of them will try to drive onto a school campus? What you're saying, again, you if I were a parent, I would be so angry at this principal, because what he's telling the illegal alien community is if they're eluding ICE, that all they have to do is drive to the school, and they don't seem to care who they hit or what they do when they drive to the schools, because that's what happened here. They don't seem to care how reckless they're driving or what they're doing, and this idiotic principal is telling the illegal alien scumbag community, doesn't matter how you get there, doesn't matter how fast you drive, doesn't matter what you do. If you get to the school campus, nothing is going to happen to you. It doesn't matter what your crime is. Nothing is going to happen to you. And that's wrong on so many. As a parent, I'm insulted by that. Now, he went on to write, while some members of our school community were significantly impacted, students and staff who were not involved remained safe, and we continued with our scheduled activities despite the disruption. Some members of our school community were significantly impacted. So were these freaks from the school community? Were they driving there? Or are there illegal aliens at the school? I think we need to position an ICE truck, an ICE agent's truck right outside the school. Now, Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott, the mayor of Baltimore, gee, I wonder what he has to say about this, reached out to help the affected family. The affected family who tried to murder an ICE agent and put the school in complete danger. That's who the mayor of Baltimore reached out to help. It's the school and federal authorities to express our anger at this arrest occurring on school grounds. Again, it was the scumbag illegal alien who drove onto school grounds. I don't know how we look at that and say ICE was wrong, ICE shouldn't have done this, when it was the illegal alien who drove onto school grounds. Everybody's pointing their finger at ICE because that's the popular thing. That's what you do, right? Nobody wants to look at the illegal alien who at one point tried to kill an ICE agent with his car and then drove onto school grounds where the kids were. Nobody wants to blame him. He's innocent. But we want to go after the ICE agents because this jackass just decided to drive onto school grounds. The governor said, went on with his statement saying, schools are places where children should be safe. Well, unless they're illegal aliens. If you're a legal alien, you shouldn't feel safe anywhere except in lockup. Where parents should be able to drop off their kids without fear, again, unless they're illegal aliens, and where educators should be able to focus on teaching, not where federal agents carry out immigration enforcement actions in front of children. Again, apparently I'm the only one who knows the facts of this story. It was the illegal alien scumbag who drove onto the school campus. So the illegal alien scumbag is responsible for any bad feelings that any young kid had. And instead of bending over backwards to try to protect the illegal alien scum, maybe we should tell the kids that that's what happens when people break the law. That's what happens when you steal your way into this country. That's what happens when you try to elude a lawful order and you would ignore and disobey a lawful order to pull over. It is also what happens when you try to kill a federal agent with your car. All of those with your car. All of those things are what's true. What's not true is that ICE did anything wrong. And instead of telling the kids they did, tell them the truth. 855-839-1210. I'm Casey Bartholomew. It is 5:30 now. You're listening to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
From Pottstown to Vincenttown, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
You know what I love? American-made products, baby. That's right. It's Rich Zioli. American-made products, and that's what you get from Emmons Roofing and Siding. Owens Corning shingles are made in New Jersey. Certainteed siding made right outside of Philly. Provia windows and doors handcrafted in Ohio. And because Emmons is platinum with Owens Corning, your roof comes with a lifetime workmanship warranty. That's accountability on American-made quality from an American company right in our backyard. EmmonsRoofing.com. EmmonsRoofing.com.
Tune in to the Crash Proof Retirement Show Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Joanne Small-Canella and Tracy Stillman. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
You matter, and so does your well-being. If you're facing tough moments, struggling with anxiety, depression, thoughts of suicide, or substance use, help is here anytime you need it. Call, text, or chat 988 for free confidential support. New Jersey's 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here 24/7 for you or someone you love, with trained counselors who listen and care without judgment. You matter. Remember New Jersey's 988. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
And now, Babbel proudly presents The Cat Chat.
Bonjour, monsieur. Yes, hi. I'm staying in room 22, and I was wondering if there was anyone I could chat with about my sheets. They seem to be making me just really itchy.
Pardon, vous avez dit un chat?
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I just want to chat with maybe like the cleaning service, see which detergent they use. Just a chat.
Chat.
Please, I'm so itchy.
Un instant, s'il vous plaît. Mathis, j'ai un client qui demande un chat.
Oh, my goodness. I thank you. It's just a chat, really just a...
Voilà.
What?
Sir, you requested a cat to scratch you.
Traveling mistakes can really be absurd. Learn to speak like the locals with Babbel, and no one will mistake your chat for a cat.
Sir, please. Your cat.
Get up to 50% off on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to get up to 50% off. Babbel.com.
D&K Appliances is a family-owned and operated business for 3 generations located in Newtown Square and Flowertown. D&K Appliances offers one-stop shopping, providing delivery, installation, and service of top brands like GE, Thermador, Wolf, Bosch, Speed Queen, KitchenAid, and Whirlpool for your kitchen or laundry. D&K Appliance sales associates are industry experts, supporting customers every step of the way. Visit D&K Appliances, the dependable difference. Newtown Square and Flowertown showrooms, or visit dkappliances.com.
The NLS Braille and Audio Reading Download Service gives patrons with visual impairments or physical limitations the freedom to read their way.
Barge is this beautiful web-based program for searching for books and for the ability to download them.
It's a great way to have a book with you without carrying a book.
For information about the National Library Service for the Blind and Physically Handicapped Library of Congress, visit loc.gov/thatallmayread.
At Susan G. Komen, we believe that ending breast cancer needs all of us working together. Because if you've just been diagnosed and don't know where to turn, we've got you. If you can't afford the treatment you need, we've got you. And if you are driven to honor the loved one you've just lost, we have a place for you here. Because of you, we're supporting those who need help today, while tirelessly searching for tomorrow's cures. Visit Komen.org and be a part of our Susan G. Komen community today.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
.535, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Casey Bartholomew. I'll be with you until 6 o'clock. Stick around after 6. That will be when Rich Zioli comes on. 855-839-1210 is the number here. This is a question. A volunteer football coach. This happened in Florida. A lot of felons in Florida. I used to live there. That's why I left. But a volunteer football coach in Pinellas County Schools down in Florida says he was let go after a change in how the state does background checks, meaning that they found something, and he doesn't like it. The coach says he has been completely honest about his troubled past. His name is Dennis Tinnell. He has been a volunteer football coach for Pinellas County Schools for the past 9 years, most recently with Clearwater High School. Oh, Clearwater, that's where the Scientologists are. I watched that Leah Remini show. He said it's one of the most important parts of his life. I guess after committing felonies. He says it's about the kids, man. And if you don't have good coaches and mentors, then you're setting these kids up for failure. And they, too, will commit felonies. This season, Pinellas County Schools told Dennis that he would not be allowed to return to the sidelines after failing a background check. It was just a small thing. Hardly worth mentioning, really. He had a 2007 felony cocaine possession on his record. It was hardly worth mentioning. And, you know, when somebody possesses cocaine, they don't just do it to have cocaine, right? You're possessing cocaine. I just wanted the feeling of holding the cocaine. He's either going to use the cocaine or sell the cocaine. One of those two things happened, but what they caught him with was possessing the cocaine. So he has a 2007 drug felony on his record, and he can't figure out why. He is completely baffled that they are no longer going to let him coach high school students when he has a drug felony on his record. Who knew that was a problem? He says, Pinellas County knows about my background because I've been coaching 10 years. Apparently I managed to hide it because they only discovered it this year when they were able to find it. But he says, they see your background every year. You know, you're coaching football. You have to submit paperwork. They see the charges are on there, but they changed the way they did it. And apparently, I don't know how they changed it, but apparently they were able to find his drug felony on his record. And they said, you can't coach kids with a drug felony on your record. That's a bad thing. We frown upon that. Just because you're able to hide it for 10 years doesn't mean that we suddenly forget what you did. I wouldn't want this guy within 10 feet of one of my kids. In fact, if I found out about it as a parent, I would complain. I'm that parent. I know that sounds weird. Excuse me, Mr. Principal, that guy over there, he's got a drug felony on his record. And you know when someone has a drug felony on their record, that's the time they were caught. It's not the only time he was possessing cocaine. I'm willing to bet money. Or whatever he was planning to do with the cocaine that he was possessing. That was just the time he got caught. And now he's got to pay the price. You know, he said more than a dozen letters of support were submitted to the school district from other drug dealers. No, that's not true. I made that part up. Asking for his reinstatement, including one from Clearwater's head football coach, Thor Jazwak. I wish my name was Thor. I think that's a cool name. Thor Jazwiak. I got Casey Bartholomew. Can't do anything. There's no superheroes named Casey. Nothing. Thor is a cool name. Anyway, the head football coach, Thor, wrote a letter that said, I'm writing to offer my strongest possible recommendation for Dennis Tennell and to advocate for his reinstatement as a volunteer football coach at Clearwater High School. No. Because he used or possessed drugs. I guess I can't say he used drugs. Because, again, he very well could have been possessing the drugs just to have them, because that's the felony on his record. But he's got a drug felony on his record. No, you can't. No, he doesn't get to stay. He goes on to say, Coach Tennell has served on my staff since 2022. And during that time, he has made an undeniable impact on our football program and, more importantly, on the young men we serve. Former players say the team just won't be the same without Coach Dennis. Where are they going to get their drugs? No, that's not. That's not it. But, again, you make your decisions in life. I don't know where we got to this point, and I know it happened. But I don't know where we got to our point in society where you committed a felony and you now have no consequences for your actions. Because that's what they're saying. There shouldn't be any consequences for this. Or he served them. It doesn't matter. It was a drug felony. What if he had committed murder? What if that had been the case? What if he had murdered someone? Well, yeah, but he did his time. Nope. What if it was a child sex crime? What if he had raped a woman? What if he had molested a child? What if he had done something like that? I'm trying to figure out where the felony line is. Because, again, we seem to have reached a point in our society where nobody has to be held responsible for what they do anymore. So I'm just trying to figure out where the line is. Is the line sex crime? Because I happen to think those are pretty bad. Is the line drug crime? Because that's what he did. So what drug crimes are then okay? This is why we do it the way we do it, okay? Is it unfortunate that they never discovered it before? Yes. It absolutely is. They should have found it, but somehow he was able to hide it. I don't even know if he was actively hiding it, but that's the thing. I don't know if he was actively hiding it, or what was going on. But somehow they didn't know about it until this year. And the moment they knew about it, they said, "You've got a drug felony on your record. You can't coach kids anymore." That's the way it goes. And he's a volunteer. It's not like this is how he makes his money. You can go volunteer with homeless people. Although I wouldn't let felons volunteer with homeless people. I wouldn't let felons volunteer. I would just let felons fade off into the past and not deal with them anymore. That's my opinion of felons. I certainly wouldn't want anything to do with a convicted felon. But either way, this is why we do this the way we do it, right? This guy committed a felony. We don't get to go through and go, oh, what felonies do we believe and not believe? What felonies are good and not bad? Do we have a tribunal of people who now sit back and say, okay, if you committed this felony, well, what level of this felony did you? No, you're a convicted felon. Your crimes are drug related in nature. Even if you wanted to draw some kind of line, and I don't know what the line would be, but even if you wanted to draw some kind of line and say, this felony is bad, this felony is not as bad, I guarantee you, I would bet $1 bajillion that the crimes that would be bad, that would disqualify you from working with children on any level in any way, would include drug crimes. And this guy has a drug crime on his record, and that's all there is to say. That's all there is to say about it. So you committed the drug crime, you've got the felony, you don't get to volunteer coach with kids. That's all there is to it. It's really very simple. It doesn't matter how much the community cries, because he already proved that he can't make good decisions. And since he already proved that he can't make good decisions, we're not going to cross our fingers and hope that he continues to make good decisions in his life. And again, we don't really know that he has. All we know is that he hasn't been caught. Parker Sternkorb, well, that's a name I don't wish I had, said there's a lot of former players that I still talk to, that he's still in contact with, and he really helped them get into colleges, helped them get into high school. Yeah, helps them get into high school. You have to go to high school. It's the law. Yeah, you can drop out when you're 16, I think, but when you're in school, it's the law. You have to go to school if you're under a certain age. You don't help anybody get into high school. But he says, and he put him on the right path, I guess, to drug use or possession. Possession. Carmelo Williams said, I was devastated and frustrated because he means a lot to the football players. While Coach Dennis said he needs the team just as much as the team needs him. Maybe he should, if that's the way he felt, maybe he shouldn't have, committed a drug crime. I mean, I'm spitballing here, right? If I wanted to volunteer with kids, if I wanted to have an impact on young men growing up, if I wanted to volunteer football coach in some way, shape, or form, I wouldn't have committed drug crimes. So that kind of rings hollow. But he says, me and my wife, we do game day meals. We do cookouts for the kids. We do all this. Trust me, those kids are like my kids. And to try to take that from me, it's been actually worse going through this than actually going through the crime itself. That kind of says to me that you don't even take the crime you committed seriously, is what that says. Now, according to Pinellas County Schools, issued a statement saying Florida law now requires that school districts, including Pinellas County Schools, submit all fingerprint-based criminal background screenings through the statewide care provider background screening clearinghouse. The clearinghouse applies the applicable state screening standards and determines whether an individual is eligible for clearance. As a result, Some individuals who may have previously been approved under prior screening processes may not receive clearance under the current statewide review. Oh yeah, he's also a felon. So I'm not going to shed any tears. And it's curious if anybody wants to chime in on this and say whether or not the convicted felon should be allowed to volunteer with kids. Because the people there seem to think he should. As a parent, I would never, ever, 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 ever want a convicted felon volunteering to coach my child at anything. 855-839-1210 is the number here. That's 855-839-1210. You want to chime in on this? If not, we'll come back. We're going to talk to you about something very important to a lot of people. They call it the fat tax. And apparently it affects, well, fat people, I guess would be the way to put it. Anyway, we'll talk about that. That'll be coming up. I'm Casey Bartholomew. It's 547. You're listening to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. Lendseek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
No! USA is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Hi, this is Larry Steinhaus, and I want to let you know that I buy houses. I buy houses from people that may be a tired landlord, maybe somebody who's having trouble selling their house, or maybe someone who needs to sell their house quickly. Well, all you need to do is call 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I promise to answer the phone and help you with your situation. That's right, your house may be cluttered. It may be a house that a relative left you, or it may just be a house you just want to get rid of. 855-939-1137.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org. Because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes owed to the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, you may now be eligible for relief through current IRS initiatives for struggling taxpayers. In some cases, taxpayers may qualify to reduce as much as 99% of what they owe. You may already be experiencing wage garnishment, liens, levies, or audits and be unaware of this important information. Call Guardian Tax now to see what relief you may be eligible for at 800-404-6851. By taking action today, you may be able to stop all collections and resolve your tax problem before your tax problem gets worse. Tax experts are standing by to review your case and fight to slash your debt dramatically. Don't let your tax problem get worse and miss this time-sensitive opportunity. Check your eligibility with Guardian Tax now. Call 800-404-6851. 800-404-6851. That's 800-404-6851. If you're carrying a lot of credit card or personal loan debt, every month can start to feel the same. All those bills, all those due dates, all that stress. There's a solution that's designed to make it easier for you. National Debt Relief could put you on the fast track to paying off your credit card debt, personal loans, and even medical debt for less than you owe, with just one low monthly payment you can afford. And no, it's not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. It's a real, affordable debt relief program that could save you lots of money. National Debt Relief has already helped over 1 million people with their debt and has thousands of 5-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. So if you owe $10,000 or more, don't wait. Call 800-878-4646 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-878-4646. One call could help reduce what you owe and simplify your monthly payments. Call 800-878-4646 now to find out how much you could save.
Free speech in Philly on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
Yacht Rock 1210 WPHT. Sorry. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. I'm Casey Bartholomew. I'll be with you until 6 o'clock. A few more minutes. That'll be when Rich Zioli comes in. Give me a call. 855-839-1210 is the number. That's 855-839-1210. I don't think I'd ever heard this phrase until today, but apparently there is something called a fat tax, which you only, by the way, I'd like to point out, you only have to pay if you're, fat. I don't have a problem with fat people, but yeah, it's true. You hear about it all the time on airplanes. There's this one, and I think, what is she, an influencer? Is she influencing people to be fat? That sounds like a great idea. But she goes around and when she flies, she takes pictures of herself squeezing her rotund body into an airplane seat and complaining because the seats aren't made for people of her size, and whining because she has to pay for 2 seats when she, and this is very important in this case, takes up 2 seats, if not more. But anyway, that's a different issue for the airlines. There's also apparently something with regards to clothing. A shopper has slammed Target on TikTok. And if you do it on TikTok, that's serious, for charging more for larger clothing sizes, and she has dubbed it a fat tax. Social media influencer Samira, she's probably influencing on account of her, she's fat, took to TikTok with a screenshot from the Target app showing the same item of clothing, a black thong, and just in advance, you're welcome for those nightmares. A pair of black underwear, a black thong, in 2 different sizes, but listed for 2 different prices. The content creator went into the store to ask an employee at the register if she could price match the item. For some reason in the app, they were showing that the 3X thong was $8, but the large thong was only $6. You should have to pay if you're wearing a 3X thong just because somebody might see it. It's not the fat tax. It's the eye pollution tax. Somebody might see that. But anyway, a size 3X thong. There you go. Samira said, "It just seemed a little weird to me." In response, the Target worker explained that sometimes larger clothing sizes cost more due to the extra fabric required, as they should. As they should. If someone chooses to be fat, and most people who are fat choose to be fat, if somebody chooses to be fat and they want to wear a size 3X thong, they should have to pay a little more because they can do other things with that. They could wear it as a shirt. Maybe somebody smaller could use it as a blanket, something like that. You could, because there's other uses for that. A normal sized person, the thong is just a thong, I'm guessing. Samira said she was told it does sometimes happen just because of the more material. The clerk said, "So I'm going to change it anyway for you because I don't agree with that myself. Personally, I've never agreed with that. It doesn't make any sense." I have not seen the video. I've just read the words from the video, the text. I would be willing to bet $1 million that the clerk might also have to pay the fat tax. So they're fixing prices for each other. This is discrimination against the skinny. This is the fat acting in a discriminatory way towards the skinny people, and I'll not stand for it. If not now, when? If not me, who? Samira said getting the fat tax removed at Target is the thing. She added that there appears to be a fat tax on that thong, but not others. Stop saying that. She pointed out, had I not gotten lucky finding this plus size in the store, I would have had to unfairly pay $2 extra online. $2 extra. Because we wear above an XL. This isn't right. Well, I mean, if you don't want to pay the fat tax, there's a way to not pay the fat tax. It would require not being fat and not eating so much. But, I mean, if they're having to use more material, it does seem to, be logical that you would have to pay more money if you're getting more. I'm just trying to talk logically here. But someone posted, viewers flooded the comment section with their thoughts, with the majority siding with Samira. One said, I wear size 6 shoes, and I pay the same as someone who wears size 11, even though mine use less material. So why would I pay more for the plus size clothing? I'll tell you why. Because you don't get to determine your own foot size. You don't get to decide, I really want to work hard and try to get down to a size 6 shoe. And I'm gonna exercise every day. I'm gonna change my eating to try to get down to a size 6 shoe. Your shoe size is what it is. It's not a choice you made. If you are wearing a 3X thong, and again, I apologize because now you're all thinking of a 3X thong and what might go into that. But either way, if you wear a 3X thong, you've decided to wear a 3X. You've decided that you're going to live a lifestyle. And by the way, more power to you. If you want to wear a size 3X thong, if that's the life you want to lead, you knock yourself right out. But you made that choice. And since it costs more money to make your thongs, then you should have to pay a little bit more for it. Because the alternative, by the way, is charging everybody the same amount, but it would have to be the higher amount. People would have to pay more. People who don't wear size 3X thongs would have to pay more money than somebody who does wear a size 3X thong. Why couldn't it have been something else? Why is it always a thong in this case? Because now all I can do is think about a size 3X thong, and I got to go eat dinner in a little bit, and now I don't know if I'm going to be able to. But either way, if you have living a lifestyle that you should have to that requires you to have bigger things, bigger airline seats, because that's another issue, then yes, you should absolutely, positively have to pay the fat tax because that's a decision you made. And again, the alternative is evening things out, and I shouldn't have to pay more money because you have no self-control. And on that note, and that disgusting image, I will leave you. Thanks, everybody, for listening and calling in today. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll be back sometime. I'm Casey Bartholomew. Rich Zioli is coming up next on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Summer is here, and so are the summer specials at Suburban Marble and Granite. Now is the perfect time to transform your home with premium stone and quality craftsmanship at up to 50% off. As they bring in more inventory, select styles and materials are available at incredible savings while supplies last. Don't miss this opportunity to upgrade your kitchen, bathroom, outdoor space, or custom project with stunning stone and expert installation. Take advantage of these limited time savings before they're gone. Suburban Marble and Granite. Endless possibilities, spectacular results. Visit suburbanmarble.com today.
You don't need another opinion, just the facts.
What caused that crash on the Schuylkill? Will it rain before the kids' game? What happened at the school board meeting last night?
At KYW News Radio, we don't take